We are live. We are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Total Nonstop Impact Podcast, featured right here on the Impact Lounge. This is Trent, along with my co-host, Jaybone. Jaybone, say hello to the people.
What is up?
And we are joined by a very special guest today, Jaybone. He's a legend in wrestling podcasting today. He's one of the best out there. Honestly, I've been interviewed by him. It was a treat to be interviewed by him. He puts out some of the best content out there for professional wrestling podcast. Mike Larkin. Mike Larkin, say hello to Total Nonstop Impact on the Loungers.
Hello, Loungers. I'm happy to be on with you, Jaybone. Happy to be on with you, Trent. It's a treat for me. We're going to talk some Bound for Glory and Impact. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. As you guys can tell, conspicuous by his absence, Jaybone's scum-in-law, Kyle, is not here yet. Confirmation, Scum is on its way. Right, Jay? That's your scum-in-law.
Oh, he's gonna be.
He's your problem.
Let me tell you.
He is your goddamn problem. But I gotta say, he'll be here. Everybody, stay patient. He'll be here. But in the meantime, Mike Larkin is here as well. We're gonna have some. We're gonna talk the October 11th, 2019 episode of Impact Wrestling. We're gonna do some Bound for Glory predictions at the end of the show. We'll go roundtable style. All four of us name the match, and we'll all pick our winners. And I want you guys in the chat to go ahead and pick your winner. Tell us who you think is going to win. I want to get all the feedback. Let's see what the vote is going to be. Bound for Glory is coming up in a few days. Gentlemen, let's start this off. Are you excited about Bound for Glory? Let's get into that.
I am. I think there's a lot of great matchups on the card. I mean, you have from the main event, Sami Callihan and Brian Cage. I mean, you got Ken Shamrock return to the ring against Moose. There's a lot of variables, and you got a 6-man tag with the Rascals, High Octane Aerial Assault against Dr. Wagner, Aerostar, and Taurus. We're in for a very good treat.
Very good treat. Jay, what do you think, man? You're going to be there? You're coming down?
Dude, just don't take this as I don't love my family, but if you guys follow my podcast, you know life's been life lately. Life is hectic, and this is one of my few outlets, and just getting out of Dodge for a couple days, and this is my first Impact event, and this is going to be a fucking whopper, man. This is going to be amazing. So I'm going to be hanging with you, maybe meeting some people. I couldn't be more excited, man. I got goosebumps just thinking about it, dude. Just chilling in Chi-Town, maybe get a little deep dish za.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just gonna be a fun weekend. We're gonna talk itinerary tomorrow, not here tonight, but hell yeah, man. I'm excited.
Jay and I will be discussing that. Mike, are you gonna be tuning in to Impact Plus and then Twitch to check out these shows, the Prelude and All Glory?
Of course. I mean, it's going to be a big weekend. We got the stars, like we get Eddie Edwards and Ace Austin on there. There's a lot of great matchups and a lot of great stuff for the weekend. Yep. And you, of course, Trent with Emmy.
I'll be on the Twitch feed on All Glory. But All Glory, Critical Sting just asked us. I'll just address this question real quick. Who are we most excited to see at All Glory? Now, me, I've seen a lot of these guys. They're all a lot of Chicago folks.
Oh yeah.
I've worked with some of them. Some are worked for competitors of AAW. I've seen them a lot, so I'm pretty well versed in a lot of them. I'm actually very excited to see Ace Romero perform on this show, because I think I'm a big Ace Romero guy. He's a big part of AAW, so I'm excited for Ace Romero to have the shot. Let's start with you, Mike. Who are you most looking forward to seeing on All Glory?
I think with the news, I think you got the likes of Kylie Ray coming in.
Yeah.
With what happened with AEW. I mean, this is a girl who's done Rise. She's done, I believe, a Japan tour. She's actually very good. So I'm looking forward to what she does on that card.
Absolutely. Kylie Ray is a huge part of Chicago. She's a huge name. That's very exciting for her to be a part of it. Jay, anybody these are a lot of new talents you might not have seen. Anybody you're looking forward to on this one?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fresh names out there that I'm just looking forward to see for the first time, but ones that I became a fan of over the last couple of years, like AC Baby. Oh man, Ace Romero. He's been a part of House of Hardcore, MLW. He was even a part of one or two AEW shows, and now he's going to be a part of this. And I don't think he's actually signed anywhere. as far as I know, I would love to see Impact bring him in on a regular basis as a fresh face. He's so fun to watch. The guy's incredibly athletic. Kylie Ray with the controversy. It's just great to see. I can't wait to see Chicago blow up with her because that's like her crowd, right?
You guys have no idea the response Kylie Ray that Kylie gets in this town. She is like so damn over. I cannot emphasize that. She is like Chicago's girl. Like that's the hometown girl. So that's going to be a huge pop for Kylie Ray. She's going to really kill it. A lot of good talent on that one, guys. That's going to be a very, very fun show. Alex Zane, I saw Critical's thing saying there. He's got a lot of buzz. I personally predict at least a handful of signings coming out of this. I really think this is a great way to get that first tier new, fresh talent on Impact. Because like I said, you got that tier, guy, right, guys? And Mike, you're pretty familiar with the indie scene as well. There's a tier of indie guys who are everywhere. They wrestle for MLW. They wrestle for Beyond, for Destiny. There's guys who are everywhere, and that's like this top tier of indie guys who are right before contract. And some even have contracts. But there's a tier, like what we're going to see at All Glory, who are uncontracted, mostly local guys who are kind of at that real primitive stage. They're not total rookies, but they're not in that contract zone yet. So they're new enough that you can really get young guys now and girls. So you can find a lot of young, fresh talent that you can develop as Impact branded talent out of this. So I really predict a lot of good stuff's going to come out of it, guys. I'm really excited to see who they get out of this.
Of course. I mean, you look at, like, for instance, looking at New York, you got Warriors of Wrestling, the New York Wrestling Connection. And you got Northeast Wrestling and AAW. There's so many great indies that a lot of people have delved into and performed in front of. Now you got Impact Wrestling with this, so it's going to be a treat for all wrestling fans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is going to be a really cool thing. So, Jay, if you're going to make it for All Glory as well, you're in for something, man. There's a lot of good talent in Chicago that you're going to get to see. That's basically in your backyard. That's going to be cool to see.
Hell yeah! I mean, and it's you've got the culmination of 5, 6, 7, some bigger, some smaller, some that I never heard of, indie companies in the greater Chicago area coming together for this. I mean, that's just amazing. And I think it's cool because that's one thing that you've certainly heard about within the last year on and off is the competition rising between these companies. It's so refreshing, even though you work for the one that's not going to be there.
I know. That's
sorry.
Sore spot. Believe me, I've had that argument about why we're not part of it.
And you wanted them there. You did.
I did. Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
I pushed for it.
At least all these companies are coming together, and I think it's just a really positive thing. For wrestling in general. I think bigger companies in some ways could really take a lesson from what's happening in Chicago this coming weekend.
Absolutely. Mike, are you pretty familiar? Are you familiar with a lot of these companies? Like there's, Revolver, Gali Lucha, Black Label Pro, Zello Pro, Warrior Wrestling. Have you seen a lot of these shows? Are you a streamer on the High Spots Network and stuff like that?
Of course. I mean, I've seen a lot of these shows, whether it be YouTube highlights or just reading about it. I always like to study and engage in that because there's a lot of great talents that a lot of people don't know. It's really like the underground scene. Yep. So you get to see these talents perform on big stages, get their shine, get that exposure. Personally, I'll be honest with you, being the wrestling fan that I am, I appreciate all wrestling because it's an art form and everybody's doing their thing. So it's a really good time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, that's great. So, yeah, we got a lot going on. This is a very busy week, man. Prelude to Glory. We can't even, what we're going to do, guys, just to give you guys in the chat a heads up. The idea for next week, I know, look, there's Prelude, All Glory, Bound for Glory, and the Go Home show that's airing this week. Jay and I just talked off air. We're going to go ahead and kind of wrap it all into one big show next week, a combination. For our iTunes and all that stuff, that feed, we're going to split it for Go Home show and then Bound for Glory weekend Encompass show. So we'll kind of split it. We're going to go live. We'll do our thing. We'll talk about, be a nice long episode. It'll be everything in one, but for our audio, we'll split it up so you guys can choose to listen to whatever you want to listen to. But just a heads up for next week, there's a lot going on this week. So be patient with us because Jay also does a lot of stuff too. We got a lot going on. So, all right, guys, let's jump into it. Is the scum? Where the hell is your scum-in-law, Jay? And people are waiting for the scum-in-law.
I don't know, man. I talked to him earlier. I think he got stuck between Tinder dates or something. I don't know.
Typical. Priorities.
Before he gets in here, and I know that the chat's blowing up about this, so I do want to talk about this.
Go ahead.
There was this is not specific Impact news, but it's a hot topic, and I want to get your opinions on it. So a certain person from WWE asked publicly, that's a key word here, publicly on the Twitter box, asked for his release.
Interesting.
Mr. Michael Bennett, formerly of Ring of Honor, formerly also of Impact Wrestling, and I don't know where else he's been, across the Indies. And he's had a hell of a few years in the WWE. Started out on a negative note, went right into rehab after debuting. Wife got pregnant. He had a kid. Spent some time away. Came back, and it's been rough to say the very least. I mean, it's his career in WWE has been all over the place. He's had some spikes in popularity, like, oh, it looks like he's getting a mini push, he's getting some attention, and then nothing. And he's so he put the tweet out. I'm not going to read it. You guys, I'm sure you either read it or can find it pretty easily.
I just found it. I'm looking at it right now.
Basically just put out what he's been feeling like the last several months. He's like, I know I just resigned back in June, but I don't feel like this is what can benefit me and my family the most. They're not even doing anything with him. 205 Live, he's listed as 205 Live on the roster. He's not Raw. He's not SmackDown. 205 Live's going away. And just getting put into several hundred people that are already congregated down in NXT. If I was a WWE, I'd be like, I think there's, bigger fish to fry here, and just let him go do what he needs to do for him and his family. Well, hopefully, I just want a quick add. I hope they don't just hold him there in purgatory for the next, 4.5 years, because apparently he's got 5 years on his contract. These new contracts that they're signing.
The thing is, I absolutely do not want to see him back at Impact, though. I don't, Mike. You could talk about this too,
because there's different opinions out there. I want to see, number one, what do you think about him asking for his release? Number two, where do you think, not whether you want him in or out of Impact Wrestling, but where do you think he would fit best?
All right,
it's a better question.
Let me finish my thought, and Mike, I'll kick it to you after this. I absolutely do not want to see him in Impact. I think the release, I feel he milked the system completely. He went in there, wife got the pregnancy, he got his rehab taken care of. This almost seems calculated, oddly, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I didn't like his pettiness as he left, recently, even up to recently with Impact, even though they kind of gave him another platform. I think they did a lot with his wife. I wouldn't mind her back. Mike Bennett, I never saw as a great talent to have on your roster. Like, yeah, he's okay. Like, he's a functional player. I felt that him being the one to beat EC3 for his first loss when that happened was tough. I don't see that as value. I don't know. Mike Bennett, I think he's going to end up in Ring of Honor if he leaves. I see him as he can go right back into Ring of Honor. They need all the names they can get right now. He'd fit perfectly in Ring of Honor. Mike?
So, when he debuted in the WWE, he had that brief run with Sami Zayn. He lost the match to him, then he beat him, then he went into rehab. He's been on 205. He was actually just on the last episode. Yeah, really, he's kind of just been in limbo. They really didn't do nothing with Mike Kanellis except for that horrible pregnancy angle. And him not being man enough to be the father of Maria's child, which was just ugh.
Was that what they did? I don't watch it. I have no idea what they even did with this guy.
I'll just leave it at that. It was bad. Former 24/7 champion, as they were doing with him, because everybody's held that belt. He was just resorted to comedy stuff, comedy shtick, and he had some great matches on 205 Live. He took on Drake Maverick, the former Rockstar Spud, and he's had a lot of good stuff. But the thing with Mike Kanellis is, with him, I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they haven't really done nothing with him. But as far as where he goes next, I could see AEW. I liked how you mentioned Trent, because I was actually going to say Ring of Honor, bring back the Kingdom, him and Matt Taven.
And go right back. Yeah,
exactly. And he'll do fine. He can go for a TV title, tag title, whatever. He's a good end. He's a very solid worker. But for me, I don't see him going back to Impact. I could see more AEW, more back to where he was a big name, that being Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so we'll see, guys. We'll see. Like I said, keep him away from Impact, though. I don't want to see him back there.
That was see, and the thing about his run in Impact Wrestling, that was such a weird time in Impact Wrestling, because that was when the company was very volatile.
Yes, it was. There was. If you look back at those shows, Jay, the very interesting shows, very volatile, lots of change. But there was some good stuff, man. There was some really interesting stuff going on.
Oh, as far as content wise, yeah. I mean, and it was the debut of Cody in the Indies, with Brandy. That was very exciting to me, for anyone who was a fan of his.
And I mean, you look at Mike Bennett in Impact Wrestling. He was the first guy to end EC3's undefeated streak, the first guy to.
I felt they gave him a solid push. I don't know if he saw it as that or not, but whatever. But we'll see, boys. We'll see where that goes. But all right, you guys ready? Let's jump into this review. What do you guys say?
Sounds good.
All right, and like I said, afterwards, guys.
While you start that, I'm gonna find out where the hell my future scumming.
Yeah, your scumming laws. So, like I said, just a reminder to everybody in the chat, we're going to do the October 11th, 2019 episode of Impact Wrestling. We'll review that, opinions with everybody. Then roundtable Bound for Glory predictions at the end of the show. So hang tight. I want to get everybody's predictions to all the guys in the chat. I want all to hear our predictions as well, guys, because this is huge. This is the weekend we all waited for. So let's jump into it, guys. October 11th, Sam's Town Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. The Las Vegas crowd has weird waves of noise. They go really nice and loud to quiet. To light loud again. It depends. They have their favorites. Las Vegas. Guys, I don't know what you guys think in the chat. I feel like that Vegas crowd, it's like they either love you or they don't want to react to you at all. They clearly have their favorites that they want to react to. But I noticed they react for the women really well and the high spots really well. That's their big thing. They love the knockouts roster and the high flyers. That's who they really take to. I don't know if you guys, am I alone with that, Jay? Did you kind of notice that you just watched it a few minutes ago? Did you catch that? Like they have their waves, Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, they had the ones that they really popped for, moments that really, got them loud. And then there were other times when you expected them to, and they just kind of, and that's not a knock on them. I mean, it's just, you never know how they're going to react to stuff.
They're inconsistent. It's an inconsistent crowd, though. Mike, I don't know if you caught that, too, on this episode. They just have these strange waves where they go in and out of reactions. And I'm like, I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, they go up and down with it a lot. But I got to say, they didn't look bored. They looked like they were having fun. But, yeah, I've noticed that they can go up and down, up and down.
My favorite, just not to get too off topic, my favorite, and I've been a part of it, too, live, the Windsor, Ontario crowd. That is, to me, the best Impact crowd of the normal stops that they do. I love the Windsor crowd. I think they have it. They bring it for sure.
But
we'll see.
Yeah, that is, I mean, as far as places where they hit first when they got out of Florida and they really started to hit the ground running and started really touring as a brand and started doing the shows from the road, that was one of the hottest locations that really got fans to open their eyes and be like, whoa, yeah, they're selling tickets. They're on the road again. This is an incredibly positive thing for this company. And that place proved it. Besides the big pay-per-views, wherever it was, that place was just loud as hell. It was great. I mean, that was like, you could say it's because for me, like Chicago, for anything I've seen recently within the last handful of years, Chicago is the measuring stick. And they brought it like a Chicago crowd as far as size wise.
I said, let's see. Bound for Glory this Sunday. The Chicago's got a lot to prove, man. Like Critical Sting in the chat just said, that's the first venue. Windsor was the first place he heard the Impact Wrestling chants after it was officially Impact Wrestling. You know, they took over that. The name was officially made in Windsor. But all right, let's jump into this episode, guys. Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, X Division qualifying match. They gave this match away on this show, and it's going to be on Prelude to Glory. I'm a little confused why this didn't make it to the pay-per-view. That's my only beef here. Ace Austin wins on this one. He just cheated when he puts a piece of metal in his brace, knocks Eddie out. He had the female fans in the beginning. A lot going on for Ace here, including, gentlemen, a piece of fashion we're going to talk about for a second.
Oh, man.
He had the Austin 316 shirt, but it said Ace Austin. And on the back of the shirt, it said, I just banged your wife. Mike Larkin, has your pre-order for that shirt in or what?
Oh, my goodness. When you look at like the history of pro wrestling, I mean, it's not like 1997 with Owen Hart with Owen 316 says, I just broke your neck. But this is scummier. And yeah, I just banged your wife.
Scummy.
Exactly.
Banged your wife.
It's one of the best feuds going in Impact Wrestling.
I think so.
And Ace Austin is one that people are really watching.
Yep.
So yeah, this is tremendous, and it's just another sign of the company getting a little edgier and willing to take a risk or something. I mean, people are always joking about cease and desist. Well, we'll see. You don't know. You don't know what WWE has licenses to and whatever. I mean, they do all the Austin 316 shirts. What's even more funny is the chick at ringside that was making out with him on and off throughout the match.
Is there a story behind that? Is that his girlfriend? Who is that?
That is a porn star.
Really?
Wow. That is a porn star by the name of Kendra Cole. And our fellow scumbag, who is not here, and he's going to be pissed that I'm like that we're talking about this without him, because he actually like pointed these out to us.
Mike, you know Kendra Cole? Are you familiar with this porn star?
I know Kendra Lust, and as someone
Lust, yeah.
As someone who's interviewed people in the adult entertainment industry, I'm gonna have to look this up now.
That's why I asked Mike. Like Mike has an extensive set of interviews with performers in the adult industry. That's why I asked you if you know about. I've never heard of her.
I know, like I said, I know Kendra Lust. Never heard of a Kendra Cole. I know there's like a singer with Cole in it, not Natalie Cole, but there's a Cole in there. Yeah, but we're
gonna have to do some research.
All right, so if you're looking at the screen here, you can see the tweet from
shit,
Kendra Cole. You really want to see me bang that wrestler, huh? If you go to her now, I mind you, her Twitter is very adult. Very, very adult, and I don't want to I'm not going to like scroll down and show you tatas or coochie on here live on YouTube, because that'll just get us. Yeah. I'm all for a good time, but I ain't doing that.
No. Well, interesting.
We lost.
We'll have to do some research later.
So that's one of the tweets. The other one.
I wish you would have tagged Ace Austin in that.
Well, if you go, like I said, go there at your own risk. But if you scroll down her Twitter, it is full of Impact Wrestling and Ace Austin.
There you go. Good for him. Good for him. We lost Mike. Here he is. Mike's back.
We got Mike back.
All right, so guys, listen.
I was intrigued. You intrigued me, but yeah, Kendra Cole. Woo.
Yeah. He immediately went to the research.
Are you okay, Mike?
I'm good. All right.
Okay.
So, guys, guys in the chat, let me know. Am I wrong for thinking this? We should have built this to the pay-per-view. This should not have. I mean, we're getting it now, but we also get it at Prelude. I'm shocked they did not put this to the pay-per-view. I really felt this would have gone to the pay-per-view. Mike, what do you think?
I look at it like, well, you have Ace Austin in the X Division Championship match now, but I'm like, but he's doing a thing with Eddie Edwards. That's why I was kind of like, why is this an X Division qualifier? Why isn't this its own match on Bound for Glory? I was confused too, but hey, Ace Austin's in there now, and there's a match coming up this week, Rohit Raju and Sabu, to determine the final member of the X Division ladder match. Interesting, right? Rohit and Sabu is going to be interesting. I did not know Sabu was flown out to Vegas for these, so that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool to see. So let's check it out.
That is one qualifier we do not know as far as when we get to the predictions. That is one that we don't know. I mean, we can say who we'd like to or wouldn't like to get in. I know who I'd like to see in there, but but don't get me wrong. I am excited to see Rohit versus Sabu. I'm
absolutely
just because of the stuff that we've been hearing about Rohit lately and the AAW Chicago shows and his
he can talk
in there. Oh my God, can he?
Did you guys hear that promo he cut at AAW? If you guys haven't, you need to go in there.
I just watched it this afternoon. Basically, just to sum it up, he basically told the Chicago crowd to suck his dick. It was priceless.
It was pretty amazing, guys. I'd say go watch it. Go to AAW Pro on Twitter. Look for it. Mind blown. Mike, if you haven't seen this, you need to go watch this too. Oh, dude, I checked it. I mean, I look at it like I see him in the Desi Hit Squad, and then Daisy Hit Squad, excuse me. Then I see what he's doing there. And see, I corrected myself. He knows. I am culturing all these guys.
Squad, but yeah, no. Then you see him with what you're doing there in AEW. I'm like, God dang, this is the same guy. I thought it was good. Exactly, and that's the contrast for people. So, real quick, guys, back to this here. Reno Scum come out. They attack Eddie. Was it just me or in the chat? Let me know. Did the Reno Scum did they seem way too casual the way they came out? Like there was no fire to it. Like, yeah, they cheated to win. They helped Ace cheat, but they were just so slow, and it's like they didn't have any kind of fire to them. I was like, come on, show me you want to be here. Show me you're a part of this cheat, this dastardly act. Give me a little energy. But they were just like, chill, do a little act, hit Eddie. It's like, I don't know. I want to like them, but they don't bring enough for me to these shows. Jay, I'm gonna start with you on this.
I'm gonna cut you off there for a second. Looks like this this bastard's finally showing up here. Hang on a second.
Oh God, is it gonna? Are we having a run in on this pod?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh God, the legend.
You ready?
Oh shit, I'm not ready. Oh Lord.
Hey.
Oh God. Oh jeez.
Scumbag. What's up?
He's here.
Oh no, he's here.
Hey, did you miss me?
Well, yeah, for 30 fucking minutes we've been missing.
Look at what Greg did.
Where the hell did you go, Kyle? Why don't you share with the lounge where the hell you were?
Who the fuck invited Larkin? Let's go, buddy.
We had a guest, and you weren't here to greet our guest.
Did you know that me and Larkin have a history together? We actually went to the same high school, grew up together.
I don't think the loungers knew that. Let's go ahead and tell the history here.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Me and Larkin grew up together. We went to school together, but Larkin, I don't think I ever saw you at school.
I don't think I ever saw you either while you were getting suspended and expelled with your stink bomb in the cafeteria.
That's a true story. I stink bombed the cafeteria back in the day. That was my my big prank.
Hit the soundbite.
I don't think it was scummy. It was funny, if anything. I thought I was a regular Bart Simpson, and I set stink bombs off in the cafeteria. Got expelled for that one.
Oh my God!
You have a history of going to like a lot of indie shows with your 7 hot dogs and your 4 Pepsis, wherever you get there.
Now you're taking it too far. Fat asses. Too far. Too far.
Humble Beast says Larkin used to bully Kyle. Is that true?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Oh man! All right,
Kyle. I had to take a quick stop off at 7-Eleven before I got here.
Couldn't wait, huh?
Couple White Claws, you know.
Oh, hey, you know what they say
no
about
laws
White
with claws. No laws.
No laws, baby. And I'm back in the Scum garage, not in the car this time. We should have some better quality.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll go with it. So speaking of Scum, Kyle, we just talked about the first match. Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards. Ace making out with porn stars at ringside. He's scumming it up. He's pretty much, if Kyle was a wrestler, he'd be Ace Austin.
I love it.
I just banged your wife.
Big fan of Ace Austin. Big fan.
Exactly. There it is. That's the soundbite of that match. I mean, that shirt, Kyle. Is your shirt on pre-order yet, or what?
They didn't put out an official one yet, I don't think, but I saw that there was like a bootleg going around today online. I hope nobody bought it. Did you see that? Ace Austin actually tweeted the link and put out like, "Hey, nobody order this. Don't pay for it." Some scumbag, got into business for themselves and made their own shirt, put it on one of those, cheap T-shirt maker websites, but.
I'm sure some people bought it, but yeah, hopefully people wait and get the authentic one.
Got to get the real one from Shopping Factor or wherever it ends up.
He said it's coming.
I hope they make some extras for the Chi-Town shows.
Maybe they'll have it at Bound for Glory, guys. Maybe it'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring a sign to the November tapings at the Melrose Ballroom that says "Ace banged my wife." I'm gonna be in the front row, so that one will be on TV.
I can't wait. That's gonna be great. All right. Well, look, we go from that, Kyle. So you joined just in time. We go from that to my boys, the Daisy Hit Squad. Larkin even pronounced Daisy perfectly at
he listens to our show. Of course he did.
I know. He got it. Daisy Hit Squad with Mahabali Sharon. So Shara, Rohit Raju, Raj Singh taking on the Rascals, Des, Trey, and Wentz. Great 6-man action. I mean, Rascals bring it every time. But Hit Squad, big win on this one. Shara hit Wentz with a power slam, drag Raj over, put Raj on top, got the pin. Big win for them. They need that kind of momentum. The feud of the Deaners is over. They're a 3-man kind of freebird tag team. Are we looking at a feud with the Rascals now? Is that where we're going with this? What do you guys think? Start with the Scumbag because he just joined. What do you think, Kyle? I mean, we're Daisy folks here, right? You're on Team Brown. I know that. So, I mean, are you backing them or are you backing the Rascals? Where are we at here?
Well, that's a tough one. My allegiance has to go with the Rascals. I'm a man of the treehouse. I gotta keep it, keep it green, keep it 420 with my boys. But I gotta mention the Rascals. I can't remember the last time they won a fucking match. They're really taking L's on the show. We need to see them get more of a push.
They were in tag team title contention at one point. I mean, now we're completely off.
Everything went down. I don't know. They've honestly turned into enhancement talent, as they say.
Yeah, Larkin. What about you?
I look at it like this. Kyle pretty much said it. Like, when's the last time that they won? A lot of people I actually saw were like, why is the Daisy Hit Squad beating the Rascals? Because, Rascals got that upcoming match with Dr. Wagner Jr., Taurus, and Aerostar coming about for glory. So it's like, why are you having them lose? So, but I got to say, overall, I enjoyed the match. I know coming out of the Deaners feud, we got to make the Daisy look strong. And Shira with his world's strongest slam there, power slam to end it. So, I mean, I dug it. It told the story on both sides, and everybody looked good.
They did look good. Jay, what do you think, man? I know it's a lot. Mike brings up a good point. Like, the Hit Squad's not going to Bound for Glory, but the Rascals are, and they're the ones taking the loss. It kind of throws off their momentum. What do you think about that?
It makes the Rascals look like underdogs going into Bound for Glory, but I think it's twofold here because the Daisy Hit Squad has had such momentum over the last, I'd say, you could say handful of weeks, whatever, with the introduction of Shira. So I think it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna make the Rascals look like underdogs losing here, but it also begs a question. You got 3-on-3 at Bound for Glory. Why not just make it three teams?
I mean, get them all on the show.
Add the Daisy Hit Squad. They deserve it because whether or not they've been winning or losing, they've been a focal point on the show. I say add them to the match. So then you got the international flair of the AAA guys, which is, win or lose, it's still a positive for them, for the relationship. It's star power. You got Dr. Wagner, who is just a crazy ass legend. Taurus is incredibly athletic. I can't wait to see his ass. And Aerostar with his 20-foot flames walking in the building. Jesus, look out. Add the Daisy Hit Squad, those three guys, and the Rascals. You could have a probable match of the evening there for just action wise. I mean, it's not like anything's on the line, but damn, it's just a lot of fucking fun,
Yeah, it'll be good. Real quick, Lakers asked what happened to Bhupinder Singh and Gursinder Singh. Gursinder, I believe, had visa issues, so he can't do the U.S. stuff. And Bhupinder is still very green, still in training, not 100% ready yet, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be a part of it at some point. But he's just kind of new and getting trained. Just wanted to answer that real quick.
They got tired of Gama beating him with a broomstick every week. They said, "Fuck this, we're out of here."
Kyle has taken the fashion of his feud to your father-in-law, and you're both wearing the same frames.
Dad.
What's that, you little bastard?
I look just like you. I've got my spectacles on tonight. I'm kind of blind without them sometimes.
Oh, I
wearing them a little.
I gotta tell you something about going into this weekend. All right, so you're not going to be joining us in Chicago, from what I hear. Is that your final answer?
No, we'll not be there. I've got classrooms to mop.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm going to make you feel even twice as bad now. Because guess what?
What?
Guess what I just found out?
What's that?
Uh-oh.
I found out that not only am I going to be in Chicago this coming weekend, guess who else is going to be in Chicago this weekend?
Who?
My daughter Morgan is going to be in.
Wait. I thought her name was Cassie.
No, that's my stepdaughter.
You have another daughter.
That's Tracy's. Yeah, my flesh and blood is going to be in Chicago Sunday night.
I didn't know you had a daughter. I know you had a son, Jay.
Yeah.
Your first marriage. I didn't know you had a daughter. Another daughter. Okay. Oh, look at that, Kyle. There's hope for you yet. There's another one. There's another one.
Oh no, that's not hope. I just like to rub it in.
You guys swing? You guys.
Oh shit!
I love the rough stuff.
Little Johnny Swinger for you.
I love the rough stuff.
He sure does, and so does Kyle. Everybody, now, Katie Forbes arrives to the arena, looking revealing. Yep, and she's got her match with Jordan Grace. She tells Jordan Grace it's the Mercedes Outback Parker car. Jordan's like, "What the hell? I'd rather kick your ass instead." Is Katie Forbes a permanent fixture? Mike Larkin, you're on the top of the stuff. Is she signed? She's dating RVD. Is she part of the roster? Have you heard anything?
I wouldn't be shocked if she isn't, man. I mean, I look at her, look at what she's doing on Wow Women of Wrestling, which is also on Access TV, is Chloe Hertz with the rats carrying her to the ring, male rats, to confirm. But it's very interesting because she plays like that snobby character, but she's very athletic. She's got her ass sets, if you will. Booty. Yes, booty rocking everywhere. Miss New Booty, to quote Bubba Sparks and the Yin Yang Twins. So, I mean, hey, man, she's great at what she does. She's a great wrestler. She's looking good. I would love to see her more in the Knockouts division. We saw her.
I got to make a point talking about her. All right, so we lost Scarlett Bordeaux. We know that. We've moved on. She's dead and buried. R.I.P. But if you think that Impact Wrestling... She's dead in the Impact universe, okay, Jaybone?
Okay,
I don't play those games like you. I am an Impact loyalist. I don't talk about Roman Reigns on the podcast. I'm just kidding. But
you missed the whole Mike Bennett talk too, man.
A miracle. No, but if Impact Wrestling needs that sex appeal, that type of character, I'll take Katie Forbes over Scarlett Bordeaux. I mean, some people in the comments might disagree with me here, but I like the twerking, obviously, without a doubt. That's pretty hot. But as a character, I'll take her. I will take Katie Forbes. Oh, Jaybone, how old is she?
How easily he's distracted. Hey, Jaybone, you brought that.
I just got hepatitis.
Oh God.
my phone just caught hepatitis from exposing it. No, that's Morgan. She is let's see here. She's 19.
Oh, nice and legal. A legal beagle.
In your realm.
Yes.
Now, mind you, this one is my flesh and blood. Okay.
This one he takes a little more seriously, Kyle.
Oh no, we're getting in the comments here. Hakeem Fullerton, Psycho Sid. They're asking about the rap battle. Now let me clarify. I said if we get 10 shares, we're gonna rap battle. I counted. We did not get 10 shares, so there's 10 of you in here. 10 of you need to go to Twitter, share the video, and then next week we will do the rap battle. We're gonna give our end. You got to give your end. You gotta wash each other's backs. You gotta give some to get some.
Critical Sting says he's 19. By the way, Jay, you better not see this. This is what happens.
Hey. Get Critical Sting up in there.
I'm not gonna say where she's going to be. I'm not gonna say where she's.
All right, that's it.
We'll pull an Eiffel Tower on her.
I got more show to talk about. Hey, get off this dirty subject here, boys. We got more stuff going on. Taya Valkyrie with Johnny Bravo. Behave.
I'm sorry, that Eiffel Tower comment was a little too cross the line. A little too much there.
Taya with Johnny Bravo, Havoc, and James Mitchell. This is for the title. Basically, this turned into Taya asking Havoc to take out Tennille Dashwood, and inadvertently, this turned into a match for Havoc to get a shot at the title here. Tennille Dashwood comes out, joins on commentary.
I got to show this. This is great. Okay. Not to cover you guys up, my bad, but this is great. I think Forbes could fill that gap from the departure of Scarlett.
Oh,
well put, Andre.
I think he really meant that.
Choice wording there. I like that.
I like that.
All right, continue.
All right. So, guys, I got to say this before. I say it every week. Tennille Dashwood is not clicking with me and Impact Wrestling. The crowd is not reacting at all. No. I don't get it. I don't get how she gets hired everywhere. I don't know, man. I had a bad experience with her at AAW. I don't know what it is. People just don't seem to – I mean, there was like pin drop for her. I felt like they were into Taya and Havoc. And the second Tennille got involved, it was like pin drop quiet. Let's go clockwise here. Jay, let's start with you, Jay, and then go to Kyle after this, and Mike will close it out with you on thoughts. What do you think here, man? What is it with Tennille Dashwood? And guys in the chat, give me your opinion on Tennille. I can't be crazy. I can't be the only one thinking about this.
Yeah, the crowd popped like when she was beating down Taya at the very end. I felt like she was okay on commentary. I felt like if you notice the stuff, whenever there's someone on commentary, Don Callis is just gold. He'll feed them stuff to react off of, like a bullet point thing without being a bullet point thing. Yeah,
really holding their hand through it.
Yeah, and I felt like she was okay, and then she got it, and then she had the little pop at the end, and then she I'm trying to think. She beat her up in the corner. Oh, and then she did the side split. That's one of her signature moves. Yeah, she did that
spotlight.
At the end there.
Is that what it is, Mike? The spotlight? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yep.
Figures Mike knows this stuff. I want to go to
the splash in the corner is the spotlight. I thought that was the kick.
No, that used to be the Emma Bites sandwich, what they called in the WWE. I think it's just whatever it is now, the splash in the corner.
Oh God. But yeah, she did the splash. She didn't do the finisher, and then so she got a little pop, but it wasn't anything that was like, oh my God, it wasn't like pop of the evening or anything.
Right, Kyle, what do you say, man? Let's kick it over to you.
This is my new scumbag habit. Vaping. The jewel.
Always something.
In the midst of the news where all these people are dying, I figured it would be, a good time to take up vaping. Be a good time.
Hey, look at that. Everybody's dying, and this guy starts it.
Just make sure. Look, my wife vapes too, but just make sure you buy them from the stores. Don't buy them from some dude on the corner that makes shit in his basement.
No, this is the jewel. This is no. I'm still still off the marijuana. This is the jewel. This is the jewel. But no, that is a bad thing. The vape cartridges are killing people.
Well, what else is what's killing crowds to me is Tennille Dashwood. What do you think, Kyle?
You know what? I understand from management standpoint where when somebody comes off of a WWE run, it's good to sign them because they got some buzz. They got some buzz automatically just from being in the WWE because it's the pinnacle of the industry, and they take a chance every time. This time, I don't think. I don't see it panning out. The Knockouts roster is stocked. They didn't really need her.
Yeah.
If they throw the belt on her now, I don't know. It's just kind of like all the other people they've been investing their own homegrown talent. Like I just don't see the point, and I don't think she's over. I guess I'd say nobody really cares. I have not seen much of a reaction from any of the fans. Here on the Impact Lounge, we stay in tune with the Impact fans. I'm not seeing a good reaction from much of anybody. I don't know. If she gets the belt at Bound for Glory, I think it's a bad booking decision personally. But what do I know? Just a scumbag in a garage.
That's true. Mike, what do you say?
We'll get into more of that later. But Kyle, can you blow that shit somewhere else?
So, my opinion, I look at Tennille Dashwood like this. Like when she was in WWE, when she was Emma, one of the best matches that she had was that NXT Arrival match at the first ever takeover that she did with Paige. Then she went to heel and she was mostly a comedy character there. Then she got released and she did her thing in Women of Honor. She was in the mix in the Women of Honor division. I mean, mostly now it's mainly Kelly Klein and Angelina Love, the Allure, and Mandy Leon. But yeah, since she's come to Impact, I've kind of been about her. Really haven't been too that excited. I know what their storytelling that is she trained with Taya, she's faced Taya in the past, and now here we are, boom, it's Bound for Glory. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not really feeling it as much with Tennille Dashwood here in Impact Wrestling. Maybe like you mentioned, Trent, she's got that tood because you were talking about that bad experience you have with her. Might be the tood that gets her. So yeah, I'm just kind of I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it.
Well, did she get signed to a deal, or do you think she's just doing paid appearances? Because then, I mean, they tell a good story. She has the history with Taya. If Taya beats her, and then send her packing. But in the chat here, I believe it was David Kane. The David Kane one just wrote to us that Taya's contract runs out in November. That's not a good sign. Good job, Jaybone. Good job.
I thought it was January.
Well, there's news circulating that Mr. Slamtown himself, the president of Slamtown, Johnny Impact, is going back to Stamford, back to the Mick Illuminati. You know how it goes. You know how it goes when, the significant other usually comes is him going back to WWE, just opening the door for Taya to go in the WWE women's division. I don't know, but I love Taya. I don't want to see her go anywhere, personally. If I'm Impact management, I'd like to see her signed again.
Yeah, I look at her like, she was there briefly in the developmental, mostly around, I think, the time when Su Yung was there. But, I mean, she would do well there. But personally, I've been enjoying her Impact. I mean, you got La Güera Loca doing her thing as the heel. I've been digging it.
La Güera
Thank
Loca.
you, Kyle.
She's your favorite. She's Kyle's biggest fan is La Güera Loca. She's
She threatened to hit me with the chair, and I couldn't have been any happier.
That's true.
I love the rough stuff.
She fits in Impact Wrestling really well. I think she's geared for that style. She's a little more adult themed, a little edgier. She just fits the mold a little better. She might resign. We don't know. I mean, I heard January. I don't know. You guys saying November? I heard January. We'll see. We'll see where that goes.
To finish with Rosemary, so I'm like, you got to keep around with the Rosemary stuff that they're doing.
You got to. They've invested a lot in Taya. And I will say this, though. If Taya does leave, she doesn't get sent packing, we got to keep Johnny Bravo. I hope I'm not speaking alone here when I say that I am a huge mark for Johnny Bravo as a manager, a personality on the show. He's so funny. I hope they could keep him and put him with somebody else if Taya leaves. But I guess we could all agree here that we hope Taya does stay and re-sign with the company.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Bravo is phenomenal.
Fantastic. And he listens to the show. He's listened to us before.
He supports the show. Johnny Bravo's a supporter of the show. Which I love.
280 days counting as of now. 280, 81.
Yep, something like that. Yep.
She just passed. What's her name? Help me out here, Larkin, the encyclopedia.
Angelina Love, Madison Rain. Angelina Love, Madison Rain.
She just beat Angelina Love's title reign. So she is now the longest reigning knockout as the Knockouts champion in Impact Wrestling history. So they're investing a lot into her. I hope she can stick around because we love her.
Absolutely. I agree, man. I agree. All right, well, let's keep going here, guys. So with that one, we got a DQ on this one. It was victory to Havoc. Bravo got involved and everything. So it was a little disqualified. It was a schmaz. It went nowhere on this one. So Havoc doesn't get, obviously we want to put Havoc back in the title mix at some point, but not quite yet. After the match, Havoc takes out your boy Bravo, the choke slam, Kyle. Taya takes advantage of the distraction, hits Havoc over the head with the Knockouts title. Then Tenille gets involved, sends Taya up the ramp. So just a little Bound for Glory hype. We'll go home on that. Again, it fell flat. I think the people were more with Taya than they were with Tenille. It's funny because Taya is being sold as uber heel, but they're so not into Tenille that they love Taya so much. She's getting the reactions that they want. So you can't help but love her, guys. You can't help but love her. It's going to be interesting how Chicago reacts because this is a smarky town. They love the heels. I think she is totally over. But on the other side of things, when we had her at AAW, Tenille, the line was out the goddamn door. So I don't know. You tell me, man. And she had such a short run. I mean, Mike, how long was her run in NXT?
She was there for about 2014 to like 2015. She was like on the actually, yeah, like maybe like 2013, 2014, and 2015 she was on the main roster.
Correction. She didn't beat Angelina Love's reign. Thank you to Lakers Impact Nation. That's what I was thinking. Larkin, you are the encyclopedia, but you were wrong this time. She surpassed Taryn Terrell's reign. So.
All right,
Terrell,
one of the blondes. There you go.
There we go. We go to OVE Cam, guys. Sami Callihan says they're going to take care of Tessa Blanchard and Daga later in the evening while Brian Cage is sitting in a jail cell after attacking a fan last week. So it was a little rough. Brian Cage is in a jail cell. Gabby Loren, who I think is people are liking Gabby Loren so far, right? So far she's okay.
Oh yeah.
Kyle's he's already undressing her with his eyes.
Nothing wrong with
his four
her.
eyes now.
Nothing wrong with her.
She interviews the tag team champions of North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, talking about the tag team title 3-way coming up at Bound for Glory. And they talk about the attack on Conan. Obviously, they deny it. They kind of act like they didn't attack Conan. They discuss how RVD and Rhino getting in the mix is bugging them. Both challenging Rich Swann. Well, both challenging teams, I should say, Rich Swann and Willie Mack, and then RVD and Rhino get it and interrupt the segment. It's all a big hoopla for the whole 3-way match, all laying claim to the tag team titles. North disappear, and then the other two teams are left. Guys, this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be a fun. The North to me are the leaders of the tag team division right now. Nope. I think the other two teams are thrown together teams. Mike, let's start with you on this one. Where do you see about the tag team division? We lost LAX. We got the Rascals still out there. They're kind of in a weird limbo. Dixie Hit Squad's doing a 3-man thing. Are these the two right opposing teams for a 3-way dance at Bound for Glory? Should have been the other two.
Well, I look at it like this. When you have the North talk about they don't know what happened with Conan, they were channeling their inner My Cousin Vinny. Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you. But no, I mean, you also got to look.
Great movie.
Good one. You also got to look at it like you look at guys like All Ego, Ethan Page, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. I've been really digging them, and I think they're going to hold on to those titles for a long time. You got guys like Rhino and Rob Van Dam who had a great feud in ECW towards the later end, and they're mostly known as enemies, and we saw them go at it in Impact Wrestling as well. So, I mean, you got the two veterans in there, and then you got the great high-octane aerial assault, Rich Swann and Willie Mack. So I think that's where they're going to continue with the fuse. But I like what they did. You got a veteran in there. You got top contenders in Rich Swann and Willie Mack. It adds a little bit of flavor to it. Like Craig David, what's your flavor? I'm just making references out the wazoo. Go ahead.
The
wazoo. Speaking of wazoos, Kyle, what bug crawled up your ass about this match? Let's hear it.
What bug crawled up my ass?
Yeah. You got a soundbite for that one.
In my ass.
That was your cue, goddamn. Like you should have been ready when I
was fantasizing about Jaybone's children. I'm sorry.
Oh my lord, Jaybone, this is your fault, man. You have created this monster.
It's like when Katie Forbes made her entrance and Don Callis couldn't, focus. That happens.
Jay, you didn't have to show the picture of your daughter right now.
I just got hepatitis.
I was just trying to make him feel bad for not coming. It's not like I'm gonna see her.
I'll be coming.
Oh,
for fuck's sake! All right, give me your thoughts on this match. Son of a bitch! Oh boy, the loungers are not happy about, or maybe they are. I don't know. They love the scumbag. They love the scumbag.
They I come around and it's just they love it. The scumbag makes his way through the door, and it's just hail to the scum. But no, seriously. Now, where were we?
Is that a tattoo on your forearm?
Yeah, I got some ink, man. I got some ink.
I didn't know you had any. Let's show it off. Let's see it. It better be a hatchet, man. Juggle hatchet, man.
The hatchet, man? No, I got some ink, man. I got some ink. This is
what? Look at this.
What is
ink.
That? Got some. I've got Jaybone's daughters tattooed on my ass as well. Just,
all right, Jay, I'm going to you. Kyle, we're skipping your turn on this match.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, thoughts on this? You got two teams. You got the Rascals and Daisy Hit Squad. You even got the Deaners, and they're not in the tag team title mix. But you got the kind of the teams of guys we don't know what to do with currently. They're challenging for the tag team belts.
This tag team match. And we'll get in more into this as we talk about the predictions. But this whole mix is a hot mess, and I love it because you've got an established team like the North that are just badasses right now. They're running the show. Then you got a team that's just thrown together, and I know there's a lot of different opinions out there when you throw teams together like Rich Swann and Willie Mack. But these guys have a genuine charisma.
They do.
And chemistry together. I think they work well, It's it's more than just I'm going to throw a race thing in here, but it's not because I'm racist, but it's I'm just going to say it's more than just them throwing two black guys together.
I said that last week.
Yeah. And you did?
I did.
You were here?
This is 2 weeks in a row for the scumbag, all right? Give me my props. I'm a new man.
Well, holy shit, hit the music again.
No. Enough the interruptions.
But yeah, and then you got veterans like Rhino and RVD that deserve to be on because they have contributed so much to the brand over the last, half year, several months, whatever, between the both. And I think what we're going to see here is because they're talking about Conan and the North beat up Conan. What was it, last week?
Yes,
last week.
And now everybody's asking, what happened to Conan? And the North's
we didn't actually see it, though. That's the thing. The door closed, and then they found Conan laid out. And if you know anything about Conan, he always has a trick up his sleeve. I don't know. Am I thinking too much about it? Could there be some shenanigans at play, or...
It could be. We never know. I mean, they're saying he's responsible for RVD and Rhino, though. That's the thing.
Conan's got a lot of connections, and I mean south of the border connections, guys. I think we're going to see a surprise at Bound for Glory. Conan shows up with an additional tag team. I think we're going to get a lot of surprises at Bound for Glory, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Now, do you mean a new tag team debuting or a tag team that's already on the show?
It'll be someone from down in like AAA to guest at Bound for Glory to just be like, oh my God, these guys are here, and I don't think they're going to be sticking around. It'll just be a fun moment.
Right. Keep in mind, boys, the Lucha Brothers are working without a contract. Let's just put that out there. That's confirmed. The Lucha Brothers do not have a contract with anyone right now. So, just saying, and they love Chicago. You never know what can happen.
They didn't sign with All Elite Wrestling, you don't think?
They're not signed. No, okay. I mean, I'm telling you from what my connections on the Indies and AAW working there, they are not signed. They run their own shit, man. They do their own thing.
Well, that'd be a hell of a moment if they actually did do that, and it would make the people in the wrestling universe that talk about this shit like, oh, what if this company worked with this company? Just because there's so much talk about how AEW and New Japan aren't going to work together, and how many Impact fans I hear saying, oh, I wish AEW would work with Impact. Now, some favor that and some don't, and I get that. That's fine. But it would just flare up so much more talk if the Lucha Brothers actually showed up. I'd be okay with that.
I don't know. It's kind of like a tease, though. It's like, oh, they're just coming back. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they sign somewhere.
Even if it is, it's a moment for whoever. If there is a surprise from Conan at Bound for Glory, I think it'd be a great way to kind of wrap up the year, because Conan's done so much with LAX and other teams, you know.
Maybe he can bring back what was it, Machete and Hernandez?
Machete and
Machete.
No,
hey,
leave
Larkin,
Machete.
Are you the WWE champion? What is that back there? Keep that on the bedpost. You're banging out your wife. You throw on the WWE champion. You know.
I want that belt removed from this podcast.
Yeah, get that out of the camera, Larkin.
One of my buddies got, there you go. It's out of the camera. You get your replica belt because he knows you like wrestling, and then you get it trashed for it. All right, there you go. It's out of the camera.
No, we're Impact marks, Larkin. You got to know what you're stepping into here.
I know what I'm stepping into.
All right, listen, guys. Oh God, Anarchia. Somebody's mentioned. Oh my goodness, no Anarchia.
America, yeah.
Can we take a pause in the review and do our Twitter moment of the week yet, Trent? Or are we
Let me get to this next one, Kyle, then you can go and do that.
All right. Hey, Jaybone, get the tweet ready.
I already showed him when we talked about it. It was the first thing on the show. You missed it.
What?
You
did that already?
Getting your claws.
Yeah,
we talked about.
Well, I wasn't here. How would I know that?
Well, you screwed up there, Kyle. Anyway, I'm moving on here, guys. We're in already. Jesus.
So no, we did not miss it. You missed it, but we did not.
We didn't miss it.
Oh, good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right,
way to
boys.
look at the yeah.
Moose taking on Stephan Bonnar with Frank Trigg. Now, this is kind of a warm up to Ken Shamrock. Stephan Bonnar, UFC Hall of Famer. Stephan Bonnar, who grew up with my boss. How about that? Small world.
Wow.
My boss and Stephan Bonnar are childhood buddies, and he said Stephan Bonnar, as a kid, was the most insane son of a bitch. Him and his brother, I think his brother's name is Kyle, actually. I'm not sure. He told me today. But he said him and his brother used to kick the shit out of everybody in school, beat the hell out of kids, pick on kids. They were out of their fucking mind. And you can tell he's got the crazy eyes. But Stephan, this is cool. Frank Trigg jumps on commentary. I mean, Stephan Bonner's UFC Hall of Famer. This is a legit dude. He's wrestling now. He's going to be in. He did a lot of stuff in the Midwest. He's around, but he's based out of Vegas. It was kind of like it's what you expected it to be, right? It wasn't going to be some crazy dynamic finish, but it wasn't a bad match. Bonnar, I think, held his own pretty well. He's fun to watch because he's energetic. We had disqualification. Moose pushes the referee into the ropes. He knocked Bonnar down. Got a DQ. That's 2 DQs in the show, which I was surprised about. But so Bonnar wins by disqualification. After the match, guys, Moose is about to attack Bonnar with a steel chair. Ken Shamrock makes a save, locks Moose into the ankle lock. Absolutely. I was hoping, guys, they didn't touch until Bound for Glory. I was kind of hoping they didn't get that touch. I enjoyed the match with Bonnar. He got cut legitimately. If you guys saw that, cut his eyebrow.
Ooh,
but
he looked rough.
He caught him right here. Took him, sliced him up. But guys, I really was hoping Shamrock and Moose wouldn't touch till Bound for Glory. I get the hype, but it would have been nice for them to really let Bound for Glory be the first time they collided. I don't know. Let's start with Kyle the Scumbag on this one.
Fantastic match there. But
fun.
I agree with you. I would have liked to see Shamrock at Moose wait till Bound for Glory, but it adds hype. They got to jump at each other like dogs real quick. It adds some hype there. I'm excited for the Moose and Ken Shamrock match, but if you know anything about me and you follow the show, anytime we bring up any sort of mixed martial arts here on the show, I always say the same thing. I wish Dan Lambert was here. Dan Lambert could be the official, the referee in the match or something. He could get involved in this somehow. I'm still stuck on Dan Lambert's run from what it was almost 2 years ago already.
He was so good.
He was so good. Everything he did was gold. So when I see them, dabbling in the MMA on the show, I can't help but think I would love to see Dan Lambert come back. But
absolutely,
Moose and Shamrock, gonna be a hell of a match. I gotta say though, I'm not a big MMA guy. I haven't kept up with Ken Shamrock. I really wasn't sure what he was gonna look like. He's definitely aged. He's definitely a little old, but he looks good out there, man. It makes sense because he is the first ever NWA TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes.
But I'm very excited for him and Moose's match. I think it could be a show stealer. I wouldn't put it past them. I think could be something really good. And I do think that Ken Shamrock does look good out there. Hey, Hakeem Fullerton just wrote, not a fan of Lambert. How could you not be a fan of Lambert? He was so good.
I think that's the point, man. Maybe that was the point, that he pissed off Hakeem enough that he doesn't like him.
See, I'm in that same boat with Hakeem. I really could not stand the whole, let's involve all this MMA stuff, because I felt like it took away from the rest of the show. That was me. So yeah,
I disagree.
That now?
I think the promo that Lambert did when he brought out his belt collection was like one of my favorite moments for that whole year. Personally.
That was awesome. Now, Jay, are you feeling that now? You got Shamrock, you got Bonnar, you got Frank Trigg there. Are you feeling that now too, that it's too much UFC involved here?
No, because this is different. Because Ken Shamrock had a lot of legitimacy in the wrestling world between different companies. He was the first TNA NWA champ. He has a history in the WWF back in the day. He still looks like he's an incredible. Is somebody rolling a joint?
No, that's my phone. Don't worry about what I'm doing under the desk here.
You got the papers?
The papers.
Yeah, he looks like he's in incredible shape. So that I'm excited for. I'm glad I rewatched a few things today, because when I first watched, is it Stephen or Stephan? I don't want to. Stephan? Okay, because I don't want to. If I run into him this coming weekend, I don't want to piss him off. Maybe like, you mispronounced my name, you son of a bitch.
How you doing, Steve?
Yeah. Bonnar did not look good to me at first, but then I started to really pay attention to this match. And I noticed that even though he looked like he was getting beat to shit from Moose, which then I'm like, oh, duh, this makes sense. He should be getting beat to shit from Moose, because it brings up Moose because, Bonnar's an MMA guy like Shamrock. So, but everything that Bonnar did in this match, the few offensive moves he did looked decent. They weren't like, oh my God, give this guy a 5-star match. No, but it served its purpose. And the guy sold, I want to say this, rewatch it again. The guy sold like a champ. He looked like he's fucking dying out there.
He's good. I'm telling you, Stephan Bonnar is doing okay, man, with wrestling. He's got it. I think he gets it.
Yeah. So do I want to see him more in Impact Wrestling? I don't know. But for what he did here, served a purpose, and it told a story, and it was a great chapter on the way to Ken Shamrock versus Moose. And I get the whole thing that you didn't like, old school. They don't touch until the big show. They scrapped a little bit. It was, just a little fisticuffs. It wasn't like they're doing a pull apart every freaking week, like on other shows, and other people just don't know how to, book jack shit. Fury.
You're the one hitting the bone there, Jaybone.
What do you think, Mike? Let's get rid of Mike for this one. What do you think about this, Mike? Are you you're pretty familiar with these guys? Are you a UFC guy? What do you think?
Well, you got a guy like Frank Trigg, who we haven't seen really in Impact since 2008, when he was a part of the Main Event Mafia, that match with AJ Styles at No Surrender, the MMA match. So, there's history there with Frank Trigg and Impact Wrestling.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know that.
Encyclopedia Larkin.
Fucking Larkin, encyclopedia Larkin, man. I totally forgot about that.
You got about Stephan, Bonnar, and Moose. They did their thing at Victory Road
A couple years ago.
Yeah, I dig it.
Oh,
man.
no, recently, yeah.
Yes, I dig it, man. And I mean, you got guys like I like the MMA, pro wrestling world. I always say they're both art forms. I dig them. I'm a fan of both worlds. And you got Ken Shamrock. I remember his last bout, I believe, was against the late great Kimbo Slice a few years ago, doing the MMA thing. He looks in great shape, 55 years old, coming out there, a little belly suplex, a little drop kick, a little ankle lock on Moose there. I am with you, Trent. I think they should have savored and the moment and just let them just go into Bound for Glory, not touch. But hey, they did what they did. I'm still looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Ken looking as only as Ken Shamrock can look at it. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
No doubt.
And guys like that, though, I feel like they bring a little bit of legitimacy back into wrestling. I mean, they're legitimate tough guys. I feel like wrestling today is filled with too many, cruiserweight acrobats. You know what I'm saying? Get a real tough guy out there. To a lot of the casual fans, they miss that sort of thing. Like 2 weeks ago, I was at the brewery making some beer, one of my hobbies, for those that don't know, bit of a beer maker. And we had the first episode. I'm going to pull a Jaybone here. We had the first episode of All Elite Wrestling on the TV. One of our guys there hanging out, old school 80s and 90s wrestling fan, doesn't give a shit about today's wrestling. And he was saying to me how he doesn't like that there's so many little guys. And, he wants to see more of the big tough guys, bring wrestling back to its roots,
Yep.
So I feel that.
I hear you. I'm with you on that. I could see where I'm an old school guy too. I can see where that's coming from.
We need more heavyweight wrestling. That's why I love seeing a guy like Brian Cage, and he mixes the styles. And, Michael Elgin. Impact has a solid variety. You got your cruiserweights, you got your big guys, got your hot chicks, got your demons. You got everything in Impact Wrestling.
Speaking of big and hot chicks, Katie Forbes and Jordan Grace were next here. Katie Forbes, let me kick it to Mike for a second. Mike, this is Katie's Impact Weekly debut, right? She did some of the one night onlys, I believe. Am I right?
She did the show. Yeah, she did the show that was Rebellion weekend during the WrestleMania weekend. She did that show too for the Knockouts type. But yeah, this is her first debut, man. And I mean, to quote Ricky Martin, "Shake your bomb." We saw a lot of that in that match.
She knew how to work that ass. That's for sure.
Let me unleash the dragon, Cisco. No. Seriousness. You got a girl who just, she's done a lot with Rebel, the great Rebel on the indie scene. That's another one with a badonka-donk. But I digress.
Donka-donk.
Yes.
Rebel works for AEW as a makeup artist now, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that. With Jordan Grace, athletic, and we had Katie Forbes and everything. I enjoyed it. Finished it with the the Grace Driver, and I dug it, man. I really did enjoy it. Yeah, thank you. Ooh. I enjoyed seeing Katie Forbes doing it. I hope to see more of her.
I gotta say, guys, Katie Forbes, she brought it, man. She really this was her debut on the weekly. I mean, she came out with the dollar guns, and she was doing all the antics. I mean, she was there to impress. And she made the best of her debut, and I like that. I was like, I want to see more of her. And she didn't do too bad in the ring. I mean, she gets pegged like a bimbo and just boobs and ass and just showing all that off, or TNA.
You got plenty of that too, but she did back it up in the ring. However, like our pal Andre Corbeil said, she fills the gap that we are missing with Scarlett Bordeaux. So I think Impact should keep Katie Forbes. I think hell of a talent. I think she would definitely be an asset, if you will, to the Impact roster.
I mean, it's a voluptuosity, guys.
I love the fact that, but halfway through the match, when Katie was bent over at one point, the camera just did a blatant zoom in on her ass.
Oh yeah.
So that's all that was in the screen was her ass. It was oh well, there you go. And Don Callis was making it sound like she was a future ex Mrs. Callis. It was just fucking hilarious.
I loved the detail where Jordan, when Katie Forbes was about to give Jordan the old ass to the face, the stink face, like Rikishi used to do.
Yes. Jordan
reversed it by giving her a wedgie. And on commentary, Don was like, oh, the wedgie. And then he started trying to give Josh one. Like, you heard Josh, like, oh, get your hands off me.
Get your hands off me. That was pretty funny. I got it. That was Josh and Don are great.
The best.
They are great.
They are
great.
I gotta say though, I'm gonna call out Mr. Bossman BQ. He's been very critical lately. I don't know what's got up his. Let me get that ready. I don't know what's been up his ass.
In my ass.
But he's been very critical of the Impact product all across the board on Twitter. He's been bitching a lot, and one of his critiques, he's been knocking Don. He's been knocking Don's commentary, and I have to say,
surprising.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I'm sorry. I think he's thinking too much about it. I think Don is a fantastic play-by-play color guy. I think him and Josh are my favorite commentary team through all of wrestling. And I'm not just saying that as an Impact mark. Don Callis, not to take anything away from Josh, Don Callis is the fucking man.
What did he say? Before you go on, sorry to interrupt you, Jaybone. What has he said about Don?
He was complaining about Don's commentary for a while, and then he finally came back around for this week's episode and said that Don did much better. But I think he's saying his critique was that Don wasn't sticking to a heel role, and he was flip-flopping, as Hakeem Fullerton just pointed out. I don't know. Personally, disagree with you, BQ. And David Kane 1 said, BQ blocked me for just saying an opinion. I wasn't disrespectful or anything. Come on, man.
I gotta say,
really?
This. I compare Don Callis at times to a classic, one of the best color commentators / managers in professional wrestling history. I compare him to, now this is big shoes here, but bear with me.
Oh, my hero. My hero, you're about to say. Yep.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh.
A true scumbag.
If you listen to classic Bobby the Brain Heenan, you'll hear a lot of the same stuff that Don Callis is doing. Don Callis can go back and forth from sounding like a baby face, like, oh, I love this guy, or blah, 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 to what a scumbag, or whatever. He can flip-flop on this stuff, but still stay in character. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Bobby the Brain Heenan did the same thing, but did it well. So
it's more realistic that way. I mean, if it's like fucking, why are we going to have somebody, it's just too, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's, I don't know, it's just like Bear. If he's going to boo every single bad, he's going to cheer for every single bad guy. He's going to boo every single good guy. Way. It's more realistic. It's, I don't know. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. It's you hear them put over people like Kiera Hogan on a regular basis, but can still talk negatively about her during certain points of the match, dealing with relationships with this person or that person, or how they're treating someone else, and be like, oh, look at her, she's so selfish, or something like that. It's all, you can gel it all together and it all flows.
What do you think, Mike? You a Don Callis guy?
I think he's funny. I think he's very entertaining. I'm all for Don.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so guys, let's see here. We got a couple of segments here before the main event. First one was with Cue the Soundbite, Kyle. Swingman himself, Johnny Swinger, backstage, propositions Katie Forbes, says, hey, do you swing? And she's like, I'm dating RVD. There it is. She's like, I'm dating RVD. And she says, me and Rob go back to the old ECW days. Tell him I said hello. And then Jordan Grace walks up before he can get 2 words out. She shoves him. And he's like, He says something, Kyle. Soundbite? No, the other one.
Wrong one. Sorry. That's my my botch of the night for you.
Damn. Oh, man.
I love the rough stuff.
There it is. Jordan shows him. I love the rough
stuff.
I got a feeling Johnny Swinger is going to be our source. Johnny Swinger and Ace Dawson are going to be our soundbite guys. I got to get some intros. I got to get podcast drops for them. Next one, guys. All right, so we go from that. Daga and Tessa are in the back. Now, remember, these 2 are a real couple in real life, Daga and Tessa. So you sense that little connection these 2 have already, which is pretty cool. Daga tells Tessa, I can fight my own battles. She says, anything involving OVE is my battle too. So she's a tough chick. She obviously tells him what to do in that relationship. Tessa's tough. Now, funny segment here. Follow Boz in the back working out. TJP comes up with a plate full of donuts. What do you got, Jay?
One thing, she ends that conversation with a very important point. Even though they're tagging in this upcoming main event, they're both finalists in that ladder match at Bound for Glory.
Very true.
Meaning they're going to be against each other. So, yeah. So there's that. I'll work with you tonight, but after that, that's it.
Very true. That's a very
great comment from Hakeem Fullerton. Put this one on the screen, Jaybone. Johnny Swinger and Ace Austin as a tag team, the Sleazy Bags.
I just banged your wife?
That would be a hell of a team.
That would be a great
question mark.
That's a great team.
You guys swing?
TJP comes up with a plate full of donuts on Follow. Follow speaking a lot more English now. He's learned English very quickly, apparently.
No.
And he's making noises.
He's grunting, but he's talking. He's like, no, I want, like he's communicating. TJP basically says, look, guys, our training, keep focused. Next week, you got Michael Elgin. Where's the focus? He's like, are you psyched? He's like, bah. So he's like all into it. This is another tag team situation thrown together. They haven't actually like teamed up yet, but he's kind of like mentoring him. They're both Filipino. I do like that. Real side note, guys, I don't know if anybody saw this. TJP was on ESPN in the Philippines like this weekend.
Oh.
Did anybody see this clip? Total bullshit. All the clips they showed were Impact. The still image was the WWE one. They talked about his WWE stuff and background and the show he was there in the Philippines for. But I'm like, how the fuck are you not going to call him an Impact guy? Like, all the clips they were showing were Impact clips. And I'm like, I hate when there's such inconsistent bullshit like that. That bothered me. And I'm like,
like they didn't do their research on him?
Well, like, it's weird because like they had him sitting there and like the graphic on the green screen behind him was the WWE Cruiserweight Classic one. But all the clips they were showing in between the interview were Impact ones, and then the what do they call it? The lower third was like former WWE superstar. It's like, can you call him a fucking Impact guy? Like, what's the harm here? I don't know. It was weird, man. This is why mainstream still doesn't get wrestling.
Maybe that's TJP told them, he's not officially signed with anyone. Maybe, I don't know.
I get it.
That could be him too, but.
I get it. To me, it's like you're showing the Impact clips. You might as well be consistent. But anyway, that total side note. But all right, guys, we're on the main event here. OVE, Jake Christ, Madman Fulton, Dave Chris walked out with him against Tessa Blanchard and Daga. Again, the continuing feud, OVE versus. There we go. Situational fashion. There it is. Very nice, Kyle. Good touch. I like that you had that with you.
Thumbs down.
You got my dumbass wearing an old Bobby Roode Impact shirt. It's an Impact one.
Back to the Affliction style of T-shirts.
Mike, you can cue the line from the song. He cued it earlier.
Off the chain, gotta go against the grain.
That's it. That's the era.
Off the chain, time to go against the grain. We should do Impact karaoke. That's something I've always wanted to do. Impact karaoke.
The loungers, would you guys want to do Impact karaoke? That'd be
Impact karaoke.
I'm down. Kyle, you can set that up.
We got to set up. What we got to do? No, check this out. We got to set up bets for the live events. Obviously, we can't do it for the tape shows because I will cheat. I'll be honest, I would cheat. But if we're going for the live pay-per-views where we don't know the outcome, we got to set up bets on the matches. Let's say Jaybone's going for somebody, I'm going for somebody else. Whoever the loser is of the bet, you got to Impact karaoke a song. You got to do challenges, something. You know what I mean? You got to go to an Impact show in a John Cena costume, shit like that. That's bets. That's what you got to do. Stuff like that. Some extra content.
All right. Hey, listen, we'll get to that. Maybe in 2020, we're going to start a lot of this wacky shit.
Oh, yeah, 2020.
There we go.
Guys, we get to the tag team match. Good action. The crowd was really into this one. This one's been built nicely. The constant feud with between OVE, Tessa, and whatnot. A lot of action. I mean, people really responded well to it. Tessa got the Magnum on Jake for the win on this one. Much to the chagrin of BQ, he hates the fact that OV is not getting any wins over her. I agree. I tend to agree to an extent on that one that it's like she's beating him every time, and I don't know why. Like she beat Jake on this one. It's like, yeah, man, that showed the vulnerability. It's Jake's X Division title up for grabs. It's a little vulnerability for him. I don't know. It wouldn't have hurt if Daga lost. Daga took the pin from Jake maybe on this one, just to show a little vulnerability on her side too. And she could have used that to fuel her feud with Daga. Like, oh, I teamed with you and look what happened. I lost or something, Interesting outcome. I'm not too sure where they were going with that, but Mike, let's start with you on this one. What do you think of the match outcome, where it goes from here?
That was good. I have to say this. I kind of agree with you about having Daga lose the whole 9 there. But, they're making Tessa look strong going into Bound for Glory, making OVE look like OVE has been a little bit weak. But,
knuckleheads.
Yeah. But the thing, too, is you also did set up what came after the match. But, with Tessa, they're just making her strong going into Bound for Glory. I see it. It's kind of a bummer because I've been enjoying the mini draw that is Jake Crist as the champ. Yeah. But, this is the direction they're going. And I'm probably, when we get to predictions, I'm going to say it here, though. But I got to say Tessa's probably going to be winning the X Division title.
All right. Kyle, what do you think, man? I got to tend to think like you got to show some vulnerability at Tessa, too. Like she never loses. And it's like, man, you're kind of making it tough to believe that like anybody else has a chance on this one. What do you say? You're an OVE guy, so that's why I'm asking you.
Now, I am a big OVE guy, but the way they've been presented as characters, especially in recent times, they're not so much. I mean, Sammy, I would call him dominant, but the other guys, they've turned into knucklehead scoundrels. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not booked in a dominant way. They cheat a lot when they do pick up a win. But now I am a big fan of the Golden Draw. But like you said, it's the predictable outcome is that Tessa is going to become X Division champion. I don't want to see that happen, but very well could. It makes perfect sense. And also, I also totally see Tessa winning the X Division championship and somewhere down the line cashing in, pulling the tarp off the old option C, if you will. That's still a thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Jay, what do you think, man? Where are you at with this?
Yeah, I'm listening to you guys talking. I'm looking at the chat at the same time. There's a very interesting, steady flow of opinions as far as what has been of Jake's X Division run. Very interesting conversation there. I'm looking at, mostly negative. I understand that. Trust me, I get that because I love the fact that Jake became champ. But the fact that Jake's championship run in the X Division has been kind of looped in this whole OVE versus Tessa thing. So it's been blurry at best. I still, it can give you a little indigestion, I guess.
The belch bag.
The belch bag.
Scumbag.
Yep.
That's a different one.
I think your stomach's swinging.
What a scumbag!
Absolutely.
But yeah, I get the objection to how they've been booking Jake throughout this whole thing. Like someone else should have had the X Division championship aside from the whole OVE / Sammy versus Tessa. But I feel like it all still ties together and is telling the story. For example, Tessa just pinned Jake.
Yeah.
That's very eye-opening right there. She pinned the X Division championship. We're a week out now, or less than a week, I should say, from Bound for Glory. That's very telling. Now, there's a bunch of other guys involved in this, Daga and Ace Austin and
it's Jake Crist, Tessa Blanchard, Ace Austin, Daga,
Jake Crist, and then there's one to be determined. This
Rohit and Sabu,
Rohit and Sabu. Now, I did not look at spoilers. I'm going to treat this like we don't know, even though some people do know. If you do know, please do not spoil it in the chat. I don't
keep it to yourself.
We don't want to know.
We're going to find out.
If you do know the outcome,
Oh, good for you.
Not good for us. Not good for us. We don't want to know.
We'll find out soon enough, and I'm sure everyone's got their own opinions. So yeah, I get why people feel the way they feel, but I can see the bigger picture at the same time. But yeah, it is kind of blurry. It's
Yep. So we'll see where it goes, guys. This is going to be an interesting dynamic. But after this, now Brian Cage is on a warpath. He's out of jail, and he arrives at the arena. He goes through the back. He yells at Dez. He starts yelling at other people. He chokes Jimmy Jacobs and says, "Where are they?" And he's like, "They're in the ring, man. They're in the ring. Leave me alone." Cage runs out, beats the shit out of OVE, starts dominating them a bit. Sammy comes up and kind of gets the advantage. He got the bat. Did he have the bat with him? Am I mistaken? Mike, your detail guy, did he have the bat with him?
He didn't get the bat until he got onto the ring. Yeah, he didn't. But he just walked out.
That's right. So he joins them. They get Cage outnumbered. They handcuff Brian Cage to the ropes, and they start taking their way with him. And then Melissa Santos runs out to save her husband. She's stopping him. She's like, "Please, please, please." So they act like, "Okay, all right, we're gonna, we're all right, fine, we'll back off." And she's begging them. They back off. They go. Sammy starts leaving the ring. He turns around, pulls a scumbag move, and takes her down. And right in front of Brian Cage, helpless, pile drives the shit out of Melissa Santos. Cage is losing his mind. Pretty much. Absolutely. Cage is losing his mind. Impact goes off the air. I mean, that was dastardly shit. Sami Callihan is one evil son of a bitch. Mike Larkin, where do you fall on Sami Callihan? What do you think about that act? We went off the air with that second to last before Bound for Glory. That's nuts.
Opinion. Oh, of course. And then you got Don Callis and Josh Matthews. What an that asshole! That son of a bitch is scumbag.
Like that asshole on TV. Yeah.
You son of a bitch. And I mean, what's great about it too is
Callis said, "Yeah, piece of shit."
Yeah, piece of shit. Yeah.
What was great about it too was just Brian Cage yelling, "Melissa, are you okay? Melissa, somebody help her!" But yeah, it adds a lot to what they're doing. I dug it. I mean, the pile driver, the cactus special, if you will, Melissa Santos. I thought it was a great way to end the show.
It was good. Kyle,
that's no way to spend your honeymoon, getting pile driven.
Not by Sami Callihan.
I love just the imagery of Brian Cage cuffed to the ropes. Nothing he could do. And his wife eating a pile driver. It was some old school ECW, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Beulah McGillicuddy type stuff. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It really brought wrestling back to that. And that's stuff like that is what wrestling is missing nowadays. Now, I hate to be such a scumbag and, put over a woman getting attacked like that. But, hey, man, we needed it. It was entertaining, very compelling television. I got to say.
It was.
I gotta say,
Jay, your thoughts on this? I mean, you're a family man. You have a wife. For you to see a woman be treated that way, I mean, I want to know you're a father of daughters. I mean, come on, how do you feel about this?
Oh, I pile drive my wife all the time. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, whoa. We're talking about the wrestling moves. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I see. Well,
no.
How you ended up with children. Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize.
Is that what they call it nowadays? I pile drive my wife last night.
Lord,
I just got hepatitis.
No. You talk about that old school feel. You mentioned ECW. I thought even older than that. I go all the way back to when Macho Man was upset that Hogan took Elizabeth to the backstage, and I take that even more personally because that happened in this town, in Milwaukee.
I'm aware of how destiny is going to take its course, brother.
You had that ready to roll.
Shit. That was priceless.
That was good.
So
hold on. Hey, Jay, was that at the Mecca in Milwaukee? Where was that at?
The now rest in peace Bradley Center that was just demolished.
Oh, okay, which is now the BMO Harris Center now? What is that now?
No, it's now the Pfizer Forum next door.
Pfizer Forum, okay.
Gettysburg Battle just wrote in the chat, J-Dog announcing divorce next week.
Lord.
She might.
Hey, she'll be single. Hey,
she might.
I'll take the whole family.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead. Let him finish.
No, but you go back to that moment where Hogan takes Elizabeth to the back, and there's so much emotion, and he's at her bedside, and then Savage comes back, and he's all pissed off, and he takes out, he's upset that Elizabeth is hurt, and he hurts her in the process, and takes out Hogan. Just the emotion of the whole thing. That's what it takes me back to, is seeing something like this where Cage is just losing his shit, handcuffed to the ropes. I draw a lot of similarities. I mean, it was good. It was a good old school feel to it. It was good.
Psycho Sid Bone says
rough stuff.
He reminds us that Rhino used to pile drive women all the time in ECW. You're right. Peach drove the shit out of Francine.
Oh,
right?
Me.
Yep.
Mike, I mean, Dawn Marie, Francine, Electra. I think Rhino pile drove every woman in ECW. Am I correct?
Yeah. Even you can add Tammy Sitch probably to that. Miscongeniality. Hold on.
All of them. So, guys, that's how we went off the air. That was the October 11th episode of Impact Wrestling. We're almost there. We're almost to the big weekend. It's just a few mere days away. So, guys, that given that, I'm going to go around. We're going to round table this. 8 matches announced for Bound for Glory. I'm going to announce the match. I'm going to go in order. Everybody give their prediction. Guys in the chat, give your predictions on the winners of these matches. Let's start with the last one here on the list. The North, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander versus Swann and Willie Mack versus RVD and Rob Van Dam, or RVD and Rhino. Mike Larkin, I'll start with you. What do you got for this?
I'm going to say the North retain walking weapon Josh Alexander and all ego Ethan Page. I think we're going to get a lot of good stuff here. You got the veterans and Rhino and Rob Van Dam. You got Rich Swann and Willie Mack doing their thing. I'm going to say that feud continues with the North and Rich Swann and Willie Mack, and I see the North getting the victory and possibly pinning Rhino, pinning one of the veterans in that match. So I'm going to go North to retain the tag.
Kyle the Scumbag, who do you got for that one?
This one's a no-brainer. I mean, they're investing in the North, and, the North has big shoes to fill with LAX being out of the company. You got to keep the North dominant moving along. You know what I mean? And I'll say this. You have the North win the match, and then at the end, have Conan introduce his new team with the good old beatdown.
All right.
Unless they screw over the North. Unless Conan and the team screw over the North and the North loses, then that's a different story. But I think that's, after what they did to Conan, it's the perfect opportunity for Conan to introduce some new friends, if you will.
All right. Sounds good. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea as far as like good storytelling. Introduce someone new maybe at the end. Either way, I'm good at, if they throw someone else in the match, fine. It's going to be chaos. You got ECW guys. You got hard-hitting guys like the North. You got super athletic guys like Swann and Mack. So whoever you throw into this mix, it's going to be a hot mess. But it's going to be so much fun. And that's one thing that I've said over the last 2+ years consistently is no matter how many teams are involved in this division, Impact Wrestling does tag team wrestling and storytelling right. But all in all, I think the North are going to come off with a win here. But there's plenty of room for storytelling to go out of this.
Not to jump back in, Trent, but let me just put a little 2 cents in there. Something just popped in the old scum brain. The North gets screwed over by Conan, and the ECW guys get a veteran run with the titles because, it just sets up the North becoming 2 times, making it even quicker because they'll get him back. But check this out. Conan comes out. You know who he comes back with? Trent, give me a drum roll.
Okay.
Psychosis and Super Crazy. And then they all have a big ECW, raising their hands, little beer bash, however you want to do it. A good old feel moment for Chicago because Chicago loves ECW.
And they do. And that's why I was going to say, guys, now the chat, the laundry saying the North, but I think RVD and Rhino. I'm going with the veteran run to set up the 2-time championships for the North. I think they want to pop the crowd. They are ECW super over in Chicago in the Odeum, mind you. ECW ran 2 pay-per-views in that building. This is a throwback to ECW. I could see it happening that way. set up the North to win the belts, maybe back on TV. The Access debut, maybe. You know, those tapings are doing in Windsor. North gets it back in Canada. Makes a lot of sense storyline-wise. So
but Psychosis and Super Crazy, you think that's a good prediction, right? I think that's a pretty good call.
It's a little out there. I'm not going to back it.
I would say I like that combo. I would change it to Hoovy and Psychosis.
Okay, Hoovy and Psychosis.
Psychosis.
The Juice, even better, Jaybone. Because Conan's going to call some of his old, Mexican brothers.
Anybody a fan of the Juice out there? Juventud Guerrera? We ain't got any Hoovy fans in the
Trent, how many times have you been the Juice's pick of the week over there on Conan's podcast? Hemi. How many times?
Twice. He put us over twice.
2 times.
Look at this, guys. This is Juventud Guerrera's Instagram. Look who he follows on the top. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that. He follows me right there. Oh. Hoovy's the man, dude.
Hey, here's an even better idea. You go back to the Ruthless Aggression era. You could have Hoovy and Super Crazy and Psychosis all come out on a lawnmower.
You're getting too far. You're done. I'm going to the next match. That's it. That's ridiculous.
No?
That's ridiculous. No? The call your shot.
You're done.
I'm kidding.
You're a scumbag for that one.
You're done.
I don't normally click that button on other people.
No. The gauntlet. Guys, Mike Larkin, kick it off in that gauntlet. Why don't you go ahead and name the participants again for us?
Well, we really don't know who the actual participants are right now.
Are you laying in bed? What is this, bedtime?
He's laying in bed. It's late.
I can't remember. What's the problem?
You tired?
He's sexy Larkin.
Listen, there's one participant we don't know. We don't know what the last one's going to be. So we'll count both Rohit and Sabu in it. Yeah. Everybody go ahead and give a prediction. So go ahead and name off who we got there, Mike, including those two.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Falaba is going to be in it. You got TJP. You got the Swingman, Johnny Swinger. You got, well, here's the thing that really confused me about it, because it's like Eddie title. So I'm sure they're going to have like Rosemary in there, maybe Jordan Grace. So you're going to have like a nice little mix in there, Trent.
Okay. That's true. Yeah. We don't have everybody in this yet. We don't know. That's right. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm thinking the ladder match. My bad. Yeah. I'm thinking the call your shot's going to be a bunch more. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was like, wait, which one are we talking about?
Yeah. My bad. So the call your shot, we don't know yet. Let's skip that one for now. Jake Christ, Tessa Blanchard, Daga, Ace Austin, and potentially Rohit or Sabu in the X Division title shot. That's the one we don't have yet. So go ahead. Let's go in prediction on that one. Mike, start with that, please.
Okay. I'm going to say either Tessa Blanchard, which is the fan favorite, or Ace Austin, because he's got his crew, Reno Scum, have a heel. Ace Austin as the X Division champ. But if I had to pick, I'm just going to go with the common one, being Tessa Blanchard. You know what I'm saying? I like to see Ace Austin because I've been digging his scummy vibes and what he's been doing, banging wives, taking souls, and what he's doing there. But I gotta go Tessa.
Tessa for you. Kyle the Scumbag, what do you got? I mean, you like scumbags? Is Ace Austin your pick? He's a scumbag like you.
Now this is the gauntlet, right? So this could be
no, this is the ladder match.
Oh, the ladder match.
We're skipping the gauntlet because we don't know who's in the gauntlet.
Okay, I was gonna say, because in a perfect world, I'd like to see Monty Brown come back and pounce everybody, and
that could be the gauntlet.
That could be the gauntlet. But
oh damn.
No, Tessa very well could win the gauntlet. That's not a bad call at all.
All right. Jay, you look surprised by that.
No, that was my Monty Brown.
Oh, that's right.
Thing.
I'm very upset that I don't have my pound soundbite loaded in. I got to get that. Get the pow. Larkin does it the best. Larkin, hit me with some.
Let's hear the pound.
Outside. Period.
He's so good, Monty Brown.
No, Larkin, do a Monty Brown promo. I've seen him do this before. Cut a Monty Brown promo for us.
Oh boy.
We're talking about chart. You may be a she, but I'm the alpha male from the Serengeti. You know what he does? The Serengeti. Serengeti.
Pounds. Period.
Oh,
I take pride in throwing the podcast off the rails because I know it ruffles Trent's feathers every time. He's like, that son of a bitch.
I'm trying to run a show here.
Son of a bitch.
It's not even that. It's my ADD goes through the roof, and I go, what the hell are we talking about? Oh yeah, Sesame Street. Yeah.
Period. Jay. Kyle, you've always been a fan of the Triton match from Destination X 2005.
All right, Larkin, we're going too far off the rails.
Jesus Christ. You got Jaybone. What is your prediction on this match? Can I get a goddamn answer out of this?
Goldberg comes in and no, I'm kidding.
All right, so cut Jaybone off. He's done. He's drunk. He's clearly drunk. In the meantime, can the loungers tell me who you want in the X Division gauntlet match? The X Division title match.
Let's get the loungers in here.
I think the entire night is going to tell a story, and it starts. One of the main chapters is going to be this match, and I think there's going to be a lot of different factors that come in here that play a part in it and make it very fun. I think you're even going to see someone like Eddie Edwards come down and fuck with Ace Austin and try to prevent him from winning. So a little interference, but it's not a DQ. They're actually going to do it right. They're not going to DQ anyone in this match, but there is going to be a little interference. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are rooting for Tessa in this one because then it could turn into, oh, she could just quick cash in that X Division championship at the end of the night. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jake's going to retain here, and it's going to tell the story of Tessa, you had your chance. What's next for you?
Ooh, okay.
We'll get to that. The part 2 is coming up. We'll keep going.
All right. I'm going with Tessa winning. I don't think she's going to cash in right away. I think she'll cash at a later time. You're going to give it. I think you'll have a stare off though with her and Sammy. They'll definitely have a stare off, setting up what you're going to probably see maybe at the January pay-per-view, whatever it might be. So I'm going with Tessa, the obvious, but I feel they'll begin the story right away. Bill Mack hates option C. That's interesting. A lot of people like option C. All right, guys. Taya Valkyrie, Tennille Dashwood, Knockouts Championship match. Mike Larkin, what do you got on this one? What are we doing with the Knockouts title?
You got Ty and Tennille who've known each other like we talked about earlier, they're training together and stuff, so there's history. But for me, just because I'm sick of Tennille Dashwood already, I got to go with La Huera Loca.
La Huera Loca.
Hit it.
Hold on. I didn't have it queued up.
You are not Fred Norris today.
La Huera Loca.
There you
La Huera Loca.
2 times.
All right, who do you got for this one, Kyle? I mean, obvious, right? Your favorite.
La Huera Loca.
That's enough. That's my answer.
All right, that says. I mean, and Jay, let's hear yours on this one. Are we unanimous with La Huera Loca?
I think you gotta be. I mean, I know it's the popular thing sometimes to bring in that big name and throw them right into the title scene like they've done a few times. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Like when Elgin came in and Cage was all banged up.
Yeah.
And then he went away for a bit. But then in the meantime, Elgin destroyed everyone. I mean, everyone. Which was like, oh, okay. Well, you didn't like the fact that he was just brought in and thrown into the main event, but he proved himself at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to do
that. People to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was his thing. Yeah, I'm going to send you to the friggin' hospital. So I think they tried to do that with Tennille. It just, I just hate talking negative about it, but it's, I just don't feel like it gelled with the whole, oh, she beat Kiera Hogan, and she beat Madison Rayne, and
that's how they set it up too. They even said, oh, she beat those two, and then like, a title shot, okay, all right.
Good point from Hakeem Fullerton. If Tennille wins, I imagine the Chicago crowd will boo her out of the building.
No doubt.
Not a bad prediction there at all.
No doubt.
And that could even bring it into a double turn if they decide to do that. Either way, I trust the storytelling.
All right. I'm going with Taya retaining on this one. I think there's no sense in Tennille right now. I think she just has not connected enough to even justify going further with this experiment. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for anybody. She couldn't get over in Mexico or Vegas. It wasn't working anywhere.
I do pick Taya, though.
Yeah. All right,
Taya. I was kind of flopping all over there, but yeah.
All right, cool. Rascals, Dez, Trey, Zach against Dr. Wagner Jr., Aerostar, and Taurus. Mike Larkin, what do you got on this one? This is going to just be an exhibition, right? What we're looking at. It almost doesn't matter who wins. There's no stakes. But who do you got winning on this one?
Well, Trent, you got that high-octane aerial assault that's going to be killing it in this 6-man tag. I mean, from Aerostar we saw last year against Drago there at Redemption. I mean, dude, this is one of the Lucha Underground. There's AAA in here. There's the Rascals. We're going to get something special, but if I had to pick, I'm going to say the Rascals win and they get the pin on Taurus.
Sounds good. Loungers, in the meantime, keep your predictions coming on this one. Kyle, what do you got?
The Rascals deserve it. We've been saying how they've been on a bit of a slump, a losing streak lately, catching a whole ton of L's, if you will. You got to give it to the Rascals. Now, I can see them losing, but they deserve it. I'm going Rascals on this one.
Rascals it is. All right. Jay.
I say the Rascals win, but it's not without throwing in the Daisy Hit Squad. I think we do see them in this match, and this match just becomes batshit crazy, and just like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
You know? So I'm kind of reiterating what I was saying during the review. So, but I think we are going to see, well, because it only makes sense if they beat guys that are going into Bound for Glory, then why did they beat them? Because they deserve a chance to be in there too.
I'll go with that. I like that.
So I don't know what we're seeing this Friday, but I feel like that's going to be the end resort.
There's an implication with your prediction there, because that means then Sabu beats Rohit and goes to that X Division match. So that could be, if that happens, we might get what you're saying. I'm going with the AAA team. I think it's good PR. AAA team. It's that they're big Mexican population in Chicago, man. I think a lot of advantage for the AAA team to win this one. It's good for the house. So
they love Dr. Wagner, and he's been there before for an ML. I know you hate bringing up other companies, but he was just there for MLW, I think.
Scumbag.
Jesus, he said that with a lot of anger, Kyle. I mean, you pissed him off now.
Bill Mack says Gama fakes his 1,000th heart attack during the match. Elgin and Marufuji. I think this is going to steal the show. I personally feel these two are going to be out to kill the show. This is like they're going to be out to kill it. Michael Elgin has delivered on every match so far. Mike Larkin, your namesake, Mike Elgin or Marufuji? What are we going with on this one?
Well, we got Big Mike taking on Naomichi Marufuji. I mean, these are guys right here. We're talking about Japan. We're talking about Pro Wrestling Noah. We're talking about Ring of Honor. I mean, I remember watching Naomichi Marufuji take on Nigel McGuinness back around the 2006 to 2008 time period. I mean, we're talking about, a legend in Japan. We saw him 2 years ago with Ishimori in Impact Wrestling. Michael Elgin's been doing the damn thing. Don Callis has brought up Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada. He has not faced Naomichi Marufuji, and I think for the first time ever, like you mentioned, Trent, we're going to get a show stealer, but my pick is going to be Big Mike, Michael Elgin. He's been killing it.
Big Mike it is. All right, Kyle, what do you got?
I mean, you have to give the win to Elgin. I don't see Marufuji sticking around. I feel like he's a special attraction, especially for the Japanese wrestling fans. We're going to get a hard-hitting, strong style, something that, people like Dave Meltzer will call a 5-star classic, whatever. You got to go with Elgin on this one. But like you said, Trent, this has all the makings of a show stealer, without a doubt. Give him the time. Give him the time. Give him the time to tell a story out there. We will get a hell of a hard-hitting match. But I'm going with Elgin. Going with Elgin.
All right, perfect. Jay, what do you got?
I think we're going to go with Andre Corbeil's answer.
Hey, Andre.
Hey.
I'm gonna say Marufuji, and I'm gonna say I'm not sure if he's doing this as a one-off, because he's got the tryout with certain executive VP of Impact Wrestling up in Canada. The following Bound for Glory during the next set of tapings.
That's right. He's got his clinic he's doing, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a one-off. So okay. I'm actually going to say Marufuji, and maybe we could see a little back and forth.
All right.
Good call. Good call. I got to shout out Andre Corbeil, though. We got to get him on the show with us. Andre, what are you doing next week?
Now let's wait till
he's in the chat anyway.
While he replies, I'm going to say
my favorite Canadian right there.
While waiting for Andre to reply here, I'm going to go with Elgin on this one. Most of the loungers are going with Elgin on this one too. So Elgin on this one, I think he has been a home run since this guy has it. He's gonna really knock it out of the park on this. So I'm going with Mike Elgin on this one. All right, next one, guys. We're almost to the semi-main here. Ken Shamrock and Moose This is the big one. This is the story built in. This is the heavy one. Mike Larkin, start off with you on this one. Where do you see it? This has been built heavily. Social media, TV, you name it. This is the one that's got a lot of hype and a lot of investment. Where do you see it going?
Of course. I mean, you have the press conference. You have Moose destroying Syndicate MMA there in Las Vegas. You've got a lot of variables in there. Stephan Bonnar getting involved. The brawls at the press conference, like I mentioned, on an Impact. But for this one, I see the involvement of Frank Trigg. I see maybe some Stephan Bonnar involvement as well. But in the end, I got to go with Big Money Moose there it's a win there with the no jackhammer required. Spear 1, 2, 3. Got to give it to Moose over the veteran Ken Shamrock.
Perfect. All right, Kyle the Scumbag. What do you got? Moose is kind of scummy like you. Moose has his dastardly ways. All right, that's your vote, I guess.
In my ass.
No words.
There's no words needed. Jay, what do you got?
In my ass. In my ass.
It's even louder now.
In my ass. In my ass.
Now I can't get it to stop. It's got a mind of its own.
Ah, Jesus.
The whiteboard.
You're grounded.
You're grounded. Pops is grounded here.
Remember, I'm at the controls here. Behave yourself, damn it. No kidding.
I think I just got hepatitis.
Lord almighty. Jay, give me an answer quick before this goes off the rails.
I'm torn on this one because I like this because it's a little different than what we've done before in feuds before with Moose. I mean, yeah, it's a veteran appeal to it, but it's different. It's a different world colliding. You got a little blast from the past. You got some nostalgia. It's a really interesting story. So I'm a little torn on it. I like the fact that Ken Shamrock's involved in this, and God damn it, I always forget his name. I'm just stupid, retarded sometimes. My goodness. Oh, I can't say that word. I apologize.
Jaybone's hammered.
Don't talk about me like that.
Yeah, so, I only call you that, Kyle, when I'm drunk. But yeah, it's not to sound like a broken record, but I think his record speaks for himself. I think you got to go with Moose.
Moose said this. I'm going Moose. This is his time. Moose is ready. He looks like a star. This is your star, man. I'm going Moose on this one, guys. Looks like most of the lounge is going Moose on this one as well. So, all right, guys, main event. This is it. This is the big one here. Brian Cage, champion, taking on Sami Callihan, challenger. Mike Larkin, what do you got on this?
I mean, you have a history here with both guys in Lucha Underground when Sami Callihan, was the Jeremiah Crane persona. Last year, Sami Callihan was the first man to pin Brian Cage at Bound for Glory 2018 in the 6-man tag. You've seen what's been going on with Melissa Santos at the ceremony, the Piledriver. Personally, I think there's a case here that I was thinking maybe Sami Callihan, but in a way, I want to see Brian Cage win this because, he's going to desperate man do desperate thing. They could bring this to Homecoming, guys, even Access TV. But they could have a long John feud with this. But as of right now, I got to go with the champ. I got to go with Machine. I got to go Brian Cage. I know a lot of people are going to say Callihan, and I can see it, but I don't know. There's something about Brian Cage. You know what I'm saying? Joe Claw 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Okay. Retention. I'm shocked. Kyle, what do you got?
Well, I'm a big Sami Callihan fan, and personally, it would make sense for, like Larkin was saying, Brian Cage is desperate after what happened to his wife. But let's face it, Brian Cage's world title run has been by far one of the most disappointing world title runs in the company's history. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault. Right. Injury and all that. But I would like to see Sami get the belt off of Brian because, Trent, you know it better than anybody. Chicago loves Sami Callihan. Even if he's the heel in the story, this is a big moment for Sami. Now, that doesn't mean that Brian has to go away and the feud has to, be diminished. But I see Sami Callihan leaving with the belt.
No doubt. And
then Tessa coming out, calling her shot at the end of the pay-per-view.
Right away.
Not
okay. All right. Jay, what do you got?
Yeah, just to kind of go off of what Larkin was saying throughout the entire review and the predictions here. Sami's road to redemption and proving himself to the fans and himself since leaving the WWE has been just an incredible journey. And coming in a year and a half ago and doing nothing but help put, through controversy or not, putting Impact on the map, helping bring eyes to the product.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying this for months. Just, you got to do something for them. You reward people in the company for doing shit like that. Not because they're kissing ass. It's because they're fucking awesome at what they do.
Yep.
And I've heard you say it a bunch of times. He's one of the best, if not the best in the industry. It's all a matter of opinion, but I got to agree with you. He is definitely one of the best. He'll put himself over as a heel, of course.
Yep.
But the fans will back him up and be like, hell yeah, man, you do it well. I met him about a year ago in Milwaukee when he faced Willie Mack at a House of Hardcore here in Waukesha. And I told him, I said, you're doing it well. What you're doing for Impact Wrestling, you're doing it well. So thank you for what you're doing. Whether it's, promos, in-ring work, being nasty, bringing eyes to the product, everything, the whole fucking package. It's Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see him come out on top here. I don't care if he's considered a babyface at the end of the night. I don't care. I think Tessa's going to be involved in it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe through the gauntlet. It's hard to say. Like what I was trying to say earlier is like there's a part 2 to this. Like maybe she wins the gauntlet after failing at the X Division Championship and she gets thrown in the main event. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
if it doesn't happen here at that show, I definitely see Tessa taking the belt off Sammy. If not that night, somewhere down the line. Give Sammy a nice long run. But I feel like it's inevitable, and I want to hear from the loungers right now in the comments. Tessa down the line becoming the first women's Impact World Champion. I'm not against it. I like it a lot. I know it gets a lot of flack, a lot of criticism, but I see it happening down the line. But first, give Sammy a good run because he deserves it. Sammy Callahan needs to be world champion.
I'm with Sammy. I'm with Sammy taking this one. Like you said, Jay, the guy he's the quintessential employee you want to have on your roster. He's great at what he does. I think he's the best in the world today. The top guy. Nobody excites a crowd like that to blur those lines, real, fake. Is it real like that? Sammy Callahan's a very unique character. He's an amazing team player. And he's a Chicago. He's loved in Chicago. I think it's time. It's too perfect for Sammy to have that, I think. And I want to see the show go off the air with Sammy taking that. So we'll see where it goes. It's going to be a very interesting outcome. I feel really uncomfortable if Cage retained. I don't think it's Cage's type of town either. But we'll see, guys. That's the BFG predictions. If you guys got yours, most of the people are saying Sammy over here. Keep them coming, man. In the comments, we'll reply to the other comments. But, guys, we've kept you for 2 hours. We've got it here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. That's a long episode. Jay, I might even ask you to split this one up for the audio feed, just like the Bound for Glory prediction section.
I was just thinking about that.
Let's get a final thought from the loungers. Hit us with your final thoughts here.
Final thoughts, guys. While you're typing your final thoughts, let's get social media plugs coming out here. Mike Larkin, you're on a ton of places, ton of podcasts. Where can they find you on social media and your podcast? Where can people listen to you? Go ahead and plug it all up.
You can check me out on Twitter at SMShow1 or at MCL92. And if you want to follow my Impact page on Twitter, it's at Impact Rewind. That is at Impact Rewind. Check me out doing my thing on the MC Larkin 92 on SoundCloud, StephenMikeShow.com. We got a lot of variety of interviews. We got a lot of variety of pop culture.
Larkin interviews a lot of porn stars. Taking it back to the intro that I missed with the porn star, Larkin interviews a lot of adult entertainers. If you want to hear those interviews, he does it. And he does it well. It's like a modern day Howard Stern. You got to hear him.
True. Very Howard Stern.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you can check out the porn interviews for FC Larkin 92, StephenMikeShow.com. If you guys want to check me out with LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship, where you can see such people as Katie Forbes competing in her lingerie against Sheila Crash Cardinal, it's lingeриefc.com. LFC MMA on Twitter. I do the official podcast. It's called Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the 3 key elements that make up women for the work of art that they are. It's on Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, the whole 9. Just check me out there, lingeриefc.com, StephenMikeShow.com, SoundCloud, MC Larkin92, the Twitters, Impact Rewind, SM Show, and MCL92. I'm all there.
What are you not on? Good Lord Almighty!
Larkin is a podcast whore. You have to understand. This guy podcasts every single day. He is a podcast whore.
That's great.
He has podcast hepatitis. He does.
I think I just got hepatitis.
He does.
Oh, one more. And if you guys want to hear, Andre Corbeil is going to put on wrestling.com this week. Myself and Andre were talking with the Impact champ Brian Cage. We did predictions for Bound for Glory, and it was a lot of fun.
Very cool. Very nice. Very nice. Kyle, you're more public with your socials now. Where the hell can people find you?
You guys swing?
You guys swing? No, I follow me on Twitter, KL_TNI. And speaking of Twitter, Trent, you know where I'm going with this. I think we have to give somebody a special shout out on
special shout out
what
to
they
somebody.
do for us on Twitter.
Oh,
he didn't join the show tonight. I'm a little upset, but I'm sure he'll be listening to it later on or tomorrow. Shout out to our boy Jay Vorowski. He loves our show, and just, we do this for the loungers. We do this for the listeners. We don't do this for ourselves. We don't do this to knock our own rocks off. We do this for you guys. And when we get that sort of feedback, it's rewarding. It's like,
he's right there.
All our hard work, all the gray hairs that I give Trent, it makes it all worth it. It really does. It does.
He's right there. Lakers. That's him.
I didn't know he was Lakers.
He's Lakers.
I was wondering who Lakers was this entire time.
It's me too. JV, I didn't know that was him. Okay.
Shout out JV. Shout out to Lakers Impact Nation. And, to all the loungers. We do this for you guys.
He is the dude waking up to his tweets, and not to short anybody else, but man, JV's tweets are shit. That's like giving me life to do this, man. That's the thing. Dude, you put us over so much. We love you. Thank you very much. We love all of you guys.
All of you guys.
JV, we love you very much. Thank you.
High-ranking member of the tribe right there.
Very much. Jay, where can they find you? Plug your shows, plug your socials. Where can they find you?
You can find me on another little YouTube channel called Smash This Podcast. Seen a lot of growth lately. I want to thank everyone who's given the show a chance over there. I cover a lot of different things, some Impact news, no reviews. The reviews
and you got the
here.
jukebox now too, right?
Yes, Jaybone's Jacked Up Jukebox. That's on Anchor FM. If you want to go check out, I've been slacking in that. I'm hoping to bring it back in the next couple of weeks. It's been a little busy, but that's all music related. You can hit me up on their Twitter box at Jaybone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. Smash This Podcast is also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go look it all up.
Very nice. Guys, you can find me at Vanilla Joke on Instagram, Twitter. Also, Hemi Music, HEMIMUSIC on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Type it in. Remember, we are performing at Impact Wrestling's All Glory this Saturday at 115 Bourbon Street.
Good for you.
It's great for me. I am nervous as shit. I don't want to screw it up. Tune in on Twitch and watch me live. Should be around the 9 or 10 o'clock hour. Check it out. Don't forget All Glory. Don't forget, guys, you can also follow this show on social media at We Talk Impact. Type in We Talk Impact, all one word, and the Total Nonstop Impact podcast will come up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just type that in the search. We Talk Impact. Connect with us on all those things. Give us all your feedback. Let us know. Let us wake up to some of those tweets from you guys as well. So we love hearing all the feedback on the show. Also, remember, this podcast can be found wherever podcasts are hosted: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Player.fm, and what the hell am I missed one? Oh, I said Spotify. All right, it is what it is. That's all of them, guys. Yes, we're on everything. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell Jaybone's daughter so she can tell Kyle how much she admires hearing his voice on these shows. Let us know what you guys think. But please, guys, takes a second. If you're an iTunes user, go ahead in iTunes right now. Give it a ranking. Give it a star rating. The more you rate us, the more we get found. Big shout out to our international listeners on Apple International, Russia, Cambodia, the UK. Gosh, who else was there? I think it was last one was Jesus. Sierra Leone. We have been ranking in the sports categories in all these international countries. Guys, it is mind-blowing because Impact, we know Impact worldwide, they got some international deals. We're on we're charting on the sports charts in the international countries. We love it. Keep that coming. Let's do it over here in the US. If you guys go over there, rate us, review us, subscribe. We can do that here too. Guys, that's going to do it. I'm super psyched for Bound for Glory weekend. It's going to be nuts. We'll be back next week with a mega fat, crazy, insane monster podcast episode reviewing the go-home show, the weekend, and the pay-per-view. It'll all be in there as one. Anything else, boys?
Stick bomb Kyle.
Look, we'll save that for the Scumbag show, all right? For anybody that missed that earlier, me and Larkin grew up together. We both went to high school together. Except Larkin, you can confirm, how often did I show up to school? It reflects my attendance record here on the podcast.
Very seldom, like twice.
I spent a lot of time in the woods with the Rascals. I did, but Larkin remembers back in the day, I brought a bunch of stink bombs to school, and I stink bombed the cafeteria. And we'll end this with the scum story. I had this great idea because, all right, you remember the bags of stink bombs you get from the ice cream man? It was like a bag you'd press and blow up.
Yes.
There's those, but then there's the nice ones that are like glass bottles, little fiberglass bottles.
I did that too.
So I took a handful of those fiberglass stink bombs, and I went to a random spot in the cafeteria, threw them under a table, and stomped on all of them. And the stink was so bad that an entire section of the school cafeteria screamed and ran to the other side. And it took them a few periods to look at the cameras and figure out who did it. And I got expelled for the rest of my 7th grade year. I did. But I went out like a legend. There was this kid, Jack. Shout out to Jack. He made a sign that said "Free Kyle" and he held it up, and he got detention for a couple weeks for that. The scumbag has had a following since day one.
Wonderful,
but,
beautiful. I like that.
Let's phase out here, boys.
Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to follow the
Moose Jaybone
YouTube channel, the Scumbag Show weekly with Kyle on the Total Nonstop Impact YouTube channel. We will see you guys after Bound for Glory. If you're coming to Bound for Glory, we'll see you there. Thank you very much for joining. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace. We are out of here.